I understand what went wrong. You should be able to hear me now. Now I understand what I was doing wrong. You should be able to hear me now. You should. Okay, I'm gonna just type it. You should be able to hear me. To hear me now. Yeah, there we go. All right. You know what it is? This StreamYard. Every time I use StreamYard, I always forget about the fact that I have to enter the studio because I just recently started using it, but now I understand it a little better. Because StreamYard is kind of like OBS where it automatically starts up YouTube. And I couldn't figure it out. So I kept going back and forth from mic to mic, and I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. Now I've got it. So, okie dokie smoky, here we are. So basically, the one thing I wanted to talk about was breaking news. As you probably already guessed, I'm going to talk a little bit, and I invited people into this chat specifically because I wanted to talk about what's happening right now with the Supreme Court. So as you know, the Supreme Court basically told Texas to go kick rocks, and they also told Trump to go kick rocks with them. So basically, they had to do it sooner or later because the problem is, with these silly, frivolous lawsuits, Trump was playing up everybody's expectations. And the Supreme Court knows that come Monday, the Electoral College has to meet, and the Electoral College is going to certify the votes. Yeah, I know you guys can't see me, and I know you can't see me because I have my mic turned off purposefully, so I know you guys can't see me. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this screen. I'm going to share this screen for this Supreme Court because I want to set the topic. So here we go. I'm gonna set this up right here. So share screen, and okay. So here it is. So okay. It's showing multiple windows, but I know I can get rid of that. Okay. So anyway, as you can see, last-ditch effort to throw election to Trump quashed by Supreme Court. They had to do this sooner or later, and the reason why they had to do it was because come Monday, the Electoral College is going to meet. So here we go. The United States Supreme Court on Friday rejected a lawsuit brought by the state of Texas that sought to overturn the results of the presidential election by invalidating millions of votes in Pennsylvania, Georgia, Wisconsin, and Michigan. So, by the way, before I get into that, this person, Billionaire Faith, says I was wrong about Bitcoin. I was 100% right about Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin's price is $18,313. You couldn't even get to $20,000, and it tumbled down, below $18,000, and you couldn't even get to $20,000. So I knew that a lot of people were going to be trading Bitcoin because this is the holiday season, but y'all should have learned your lesson 2 years ago. Dude, the IRS has Bitcoin locked down. You can forget it. So anyway, not to get too far off topic. The lawsuit, which was joined by 17 states President Trump won in 2020, asked the court to allow the legislatures in the battleground states where Trump campaign is contesting results to appoint new electors. So basically, long story short, Trump was trying to change the electors for the Electoral College because for some reason, this idiot thinks that if a state shows that it overwhelmingly went for another candidate, that somehow the Electoral College person can go against it. He thought that he can create faithless electors. Wrong. You can't. Not only that, the Supreme Court, everybody, all of Trump's supporters thought that just because he appointed Coney Barrett, that she'd be able to just overturn everything for him. Bullshit. It doesn't work that way. First of all, the reason why the Supreme Court said that Texas can't do that is because states' rights. Texas is one state. Texas can conduct its own elections any way it wants to conduct its elections. But what it cannot do is it cannot force other states to conduct elections the way they do it. And they also can't force other states to turn their nominations of a specific candidate around. So they never had a leg to stand on. I knew they had no leg to stand on. Biden is sitting around with over 300 electoral votes. Trump couldn't even win New York, which is his own state. Biden got Pennsylvania. Trump couldn't even win New York. So let's just understand what's happened here. It says, in a decision issued Friday evening, the court denied the complaint for lack of standing, meaning Texas did not succeed in showing that it has a vested interest in the manner in which other states conduct elections. So, once again, states' rights. Texas can't do shit. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, a Republican, filed the December 7th complaint against the states, which had certified Joe Biden as the winner, alleging multiple baseless claims. Those allegations, such as widespread voting irregularities and the unsubstantiated claim that Biden's lead in those states is statistically improbable. First of all, you got Trump up there. Oh, yeah, how could this guy possibly get 80 million votes? That doesn't make sense. Well, guess what, Trump? More people turned out for this election than ever before. You got 70-something million. Biden got 80-something million. That is not statistically improbable. In fact, that goes right along with everything that we've come to expect from the last couple of elections. So you think about it. Obama beat McCain by damn near 10 million votes. Obama beat Romney by around 5 million votes. Hillary Clinton may have lost the Electoral College, but Hillary Clinton beat Trump by almost 3 million votes. There's nothing at all irregular about this many people voting one way or the other. The only thing that was different was because of coronavirus and the Democrats brilliantly using coronavirus as a pretext to force people to be able to vote through mail-in voting. That is what did Trump in. Here's the problem, though. Some states don't allow mail-in voting. Some states did mail-in voting. And the bottom line is the states get to choose how their elections are run. Trump never had a chance from the very beginning because all of these people who turned out against him were turning out because of coronavirus. Coronavirus has effectively erased the Trump presidency. And that's after he stuck around long enough to get his stupid ass impeached. He may not have been removed, but he's now impeached. He's an impeached president along with the other two, one of which is Bill Clinton. And now he will go down in history as not only a one-term president, but an impeached president as well. It's easier to be a one-term president, but when you go down as an impeached president, well, that just makes you look stupid. So bottom line is this. The numbers were about 74 million votes for Trump, 74,255,000 for Trump, and 81 million for Biden, 81,255,000 for Biden. He lost. And the sad piece of shit he is so pathetic. He thought that somehow he was going to magically wave a wand and turn it all around. Now, Rudy Giuliani should also be talked about. Rudy Giuliani was stupid in that Rudy Giuliani thought that he'd be able to just take the case straight to the Supreme Court. The problem is the only way you could have turned this around was in the very beginning, before the election. You would have had to have gone to the state electors, or you would have had to go to the state legislature, and you would have had to say, listen, you can't do certain things in your voting because it's illegal. Or you could say it's unconstitutional. There's nothing unconstitutional about a state deciding to have, mail-in ballots. We have mail-in ballots. We have soldiers doing mail-in ballots because obviously the soldiers get to vote even though they're overseas. We also have absentee ballots. We've got all types of things. And as far as I'm concerned, this is how our election should be. If more people get to participate, that is real democracy. But what you're dealing with is Republicans who do not want people to participate because they know that, especially after seeing what happened to Trump, they know that they're never going to win another national election with a president again. They already know it. Now, what happened really? Well, basically, the election, and I'm going to say it in my own words, the election that white nationalists in America always knew was coming has finally come, and now you see what it looks like. White liberals and minorities went up against the white majority and beat them in this election. 55% of white women voted for Trump. 58% of white men, it's probably closer to 60, but about 58 to 60% of white men voted for Trump. Thing about it is all the rest of those white people did not vote for Trump. There's more than 40% there that did not vote for Trump. Bottom line is they, with the Democrat Party, used minority voters and they beat him. And they did it in a way where it was absolutely brilliant. First of all, coronavirus sucked up all the oxygen. Because you remember Tulsi Gabbard? In the very beginning, I wanted Kamala Harris to be at the top of the ticket. But Tulsi Gabbard did so much damage to Kamala Harris and then simply disappeared back to Hawaii, wherever she came from. Biden was the last hope for the DNC because they had nobody else. The DNC was never going to run a serious election with Bernie Sanders. It wasn't going to happen. They knew that there was no way in hell that anybody was going to let a Democrat socialist be, how should I say, they weren't going to run an election with him. They just weren't going to let him be president. It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen in 2016, and it damn sure wasn't going to happen now. They knew that they had to push Bernie Sanders out of the way. So guess what happened? Coronavirus took care of that too. Sucked up all the oxygen, made it so nobody was talking about anything except how poorly Trump was doing. A lot of the right-wingers are pissed off because Facebook and YouTube destroyed all of their conspiracy theories, because what these conservative right-wingers want to do is they want to jump onto Facebook, they want to jump onto YouTube, they want to post conspiracy theory bullshit, they want to spam it. So here we are talking about Biden, and they're trying to talk about Biden's son and a laptop which had whatever it had on it. I don't know what it had on it. Now, here's the problem. Biden's laptop, his son's laptop, I should say, was never going to be taken seriously by any real journalist, simply because if you have a laptop, anybody could put anything on that laptop. And if they were journalists covering that, it could always backfire in their face, and it could always turn out that what was there was planted evidence or it was fake. So real journalists were never going to cover that. So the right-wingers are pissed off. So a lot of them have left Facebook. A lot of them are pissed off because nobody was covering it except Fox News. And then they got pissed off at Fox News because Fox News called Arizona for Biden early when it was obvious that Arizona was going to Biden anyway. And the problem for them was they didn't know where to go to protest because it was happening so fast that day after Election Day when Trump was trying to stop the counts. There was nothing you could do. So let me just finish up with this. It says in a statement issued after the ruling, it says nothing in the text, history, or structure of the Constitution supports Texas's view that it can dictate the manner in which 4 sister states run their elections, and Texas suffered no harm because it dislikes the result in those elections. That's what the Pennsylvania brief said. In a statement issued after the ruling, Paxton said it's unfortunate that the court decided not to take the case, and added that he'll continue to tirelessly defend the integrity and security of our elections and hold accountable those who shirk established election law for their own convenience. Bottom line was Trump thought he had the Supreme Court in his pocket. Turned out he didn't. And it says this on December 9th, because this is what his text was on December 9th, his stupid tweets. Twitter, by the way, said that after this asshole's out of office, they're going to probably delete his account because he has repeated terms of use violations. So shame on you. Because the thing about it is Trump can start his own network of news if he wants. Fine. Guess what? Social media doesn't have to deal with it, though. They can completely block it and they can completely ignore it. So shame on them. So it says, we will be intervening in the Texas plus many other states case. This is the big one, folks. Our country needs a victory. This was never about the country. This is about you, and you lost. You lost terribly to coronavirus, and you lost now to the Democratic Party. You lost. You're a loser. So anyway, more than 120 Republican House members signed a brief in support of the Texas case, saying that the election of 2020 has been riddled with an unprecedented number of serious allegations of fraud and irregularities. You know what they're trying to say? They're trying to say that too many black voters voted. We are the ones who destroyed Trump in this election. He lost because of us. Now, I wanted to play, and I really could do it, but I wanted to play Anthony Cumia when he talked about the election that Obama ran. But I'm not going to do that right now. I could always do that maybe later. Because basically, Anthony Cumia came right out. He used to be on Opie and Anthony. You might remember him. He came right out and said it. You can have a huge state on a map that looks red, but because it has a very large, densely populated blue area or a number of densely populated blue areas, that whole state ends up going blue for the Democrats simply because of them. Land doesn't vote. So just because you look at a map and it looks red does not mean that that's all people. It's not. A lot of it is empty space. So just because a state goes red does not mean, first of all, look at most of these states. North Dakota, South Dakota, the population of most of these states is lower than 700,000 people. North Dakota, South Dakota, Alaska, West Virginia, they have like less than 600,000 people. So first of all, it would really be the tyranny of the minority to let states like that have so much electoral power that they have any more than 3 electoral votes. And that's the reason why most of them have so few votes. California, meanwhile, gets 55. New York gets a lot. Georgia, Atlanta gets a lot. So guess what? Long story short, Trump lost. So here's the thing. I don't know if I've got any detractors who want to say their piece because I'm pretty much finished talking because we already know what it is. Everything that I've been forecasting, I've been telling you this was coming for the last 3 years. Anybody, I want everybody to say it. I want you to just put it in the chat. Have I not been telling you for the last 4 years that Trump was going to be a one-term president? Did I not say that? Did I not forecast to you 4 years ago? 4 years ago, when Trump first got in, I said he was a one-term president. Did I not say that? Have I not been running this exact same attitude and saying the same thing? Have I not said it for the last at least 3 years? I've been saying he was a one-term president. And that was before coronavirus got here. Once coronavirus got here, I knew, I was like, oh shit, this is the thing that takes him out of office. As soon as I saw what coronavirus was going to do to this economy, basically it was all crystal clear. I was like, oh shit, this is what got him. I've been saying it for 3 years. I've been arguing. I've been fighting with people in text messaging. I've been fighting with people on Facebook. I've been fighting with people on YouTube. I've been fighting for 3 or 4 years saying the same damn thing. And everybody was like, oh, but the economy's doing great. I was like, yo, guys, the economy can turn around at any time and it can get bad. Furthermore, I always believed that the economy was smoke and mirrors. I always believed that we had a problem with underemployment. And once we saw those lockdowns go into place, that underemployment came out and tore the streets up. There's still white people fighting over there in Seattle and Portland, Oregon. I don't even know what they're fighting over. And they up there screaming Black Lives Matter. I don't even know what the hell they're fighting for. And I said it. I said it a long time ago. I said it over and over and over and over and over. So here's the thing. There's 57 people watching. So I pretty much said my piece, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to invite in people who want to talk. And keep in mind, I talked just now for like 30-something minutes. So I've said what I have to say. Ramil! Oh, shit. It's Ramil. You see this guy, Ramil? This is the baddest man in town. Ramil Amir. Everybody, direct your attention to Ramir Amil in chat. Ramil. Ramil is now going to be one of our moderators here. So Ramil wrenched me up. I didn't even ask for it. But Ramil is the baddest man in town right here. A lot of times you see me posting his links when he's talking about women abusing men. And when he's talking politics and when he's talking about money and stuff. So I join his chats and I show everybody his channel. So that he is right now, he's been wrenched up. So there we go. And Ramil is going to help me to collect money from some of these suckers who were stupid enough to bet against me, who is a speed chess grandmaster. They were dumb enough to bet against me. I've been saying the same shit for 3 years. They lost. I won. And so everybody, keep in mind, that man right there, he's the baddest man in town. If you don't know him, you should join his channel. If you want to hear straight talk from down south, or I think he's in Chicago or something. But anyway, you want to hear some straight talk, the channel, I love it. It's exciting and it's fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this invite, and I'm going to get the invite link for the StreamYard thing because I'm doing something new. In fact, I wouldn't even be doing StreamYard if it wasn't for Ramil, because once I saw how well StreamYard worked with YouTube, I was like, okay, I'm going to use that instead of OBS. So I'm going to post this link. Anybody who's got something to say, whether you pro-Trump, not against Trump, whatever, you can come right on in. So I just posted that link in the chat. And that's that. And I said my piece. And here's the thing. We want to try to keep it orderly. So I want one person to be talking at a time. Once you start coming in, I'll see you trying to enter the room, and I'll be able to add you. And that's the thing. I want to try to make it so we can actually hear each other and understand what's going on. So let me just tell my Discord server. I think I already gave them the link, but I'm going to give it to them again. And once you come in, I'll let you into the room. And you got to make sure. In fact, I'm going to let Ramil in first. And, and this way you can hear what he has to say, because I know he's a bit of I think he's a Trump supporter, and he already made his video saying that, in fact, I didn't even see the news flash. I got it from you first, Ramil.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, Texas told Trump to go, the Supreme Court told Texas and Trump to go kick rocks.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Ramil, what you got to say to the audience before I let anybody else in here? What you got to say?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me. I just had to come return the favor, man. You always coming over and and definitely always doing the thing and causing the storm, man. But yeah, I seen what was going on. I'm not necessarily hardcore Trump supporter. I'm just more in line with his way of thinking and conservative values. And I think he has the best policies. But I do think the Supreme Court, they rejected it. They had a good reason. I mean, what right does Texas have to tell another state? I do see where they're coming from, but it's just, I think they should have still at least took a deeper look at it. I mean, they just rejected it once. They didn't even put out a formal opinion yet or whatever. They just said no. So I think they should at least give it a little bit more time. But I understand where that's coming from. It is what it is. Either way, no matter who's in office, I just got to switch the strategy up.
Okay, and when you say switch your strategy up, what do you mean?
Different administrations are going to come with different policies. So Biden's policies definitely are going to raise taxes for capital gains, for businesses, for corporations. I am an entrepreneur, so that's definitely going to affect me more, higher tax rates, things like that. So I will have to switch my strategies up with the way I run the couple online businesses I have. Okay. Yeah, well, as far as the Supreme Court not even hearing it, I actually did think that they were going to do some level of hearing it. But the thing about it is the Supreme Court really wasn't in jurisdiction here, because voting laws and voting methods, that's states' rights. So the Supreme Court, on their level, they're not supposed to interfere with the state conducting voting as long as it doesn't infringe on civil rights of the people. Now, in this case, basically, we all know what killed Trump was those mail-in ballots, because what that did was it grew the electorate and it made it larger than ever before. It allowed more people to participate. Now, anything that they had a grievance with, they had to solve that before the votes were even done. They had to solve that before Election Day, before November 4th, because once it was set into stone and once the state said, this is how we're going to do it, anybody who abided by that was within the laws of the state. And now the state, all they had to do was take it and hand it in and say, yo, this is it. But my contention is that this is ultimately, a large amount of this is due to racism, because they knew that black voters are the ones that came out heavily for the Democrats, heavily for Biden. Now, we do know that there was some more black males voting for Trump this time around. Like 20%.
I officially, I heard 18 and I heard 8% black women. But the thing about it is, again, y'all were arguing yesterday about how much 10% is worth. And I was sitting back just listening, and I was laughing my ass off. I was like, "Listen, 10%'s a lot."
It wasn't an argument. I was entertaining that. Just
Fantastic had y'all going for 30 fucking minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I like to arguments. People like to hear little silly stuff like that, so I entertain it. But I know 10% is a lot depending on what you're measuring. But let me ask you this, man? So now that the Supreme Court already tossed it, and it's almost set in stone. So you don't really tell me honestly. You don't think that they didn't like boost up? They didn't no cheating at all, bro? You really gonna tell me that they didn't boost some things up at all, man?
Okay. First of all, it would be disingenuous to say that there was absolutely no level of cheating.
Thank you, man.
No. But understand something. The problem with me saying that there was no cheating is that I can't prove that any more than I can prove that there was cheating. And ultimately, what was I going to say? Ultimately, there's no way to have a secret ballot without there always being some allegation of fraud or some allegation of cheating. Think about it like this. If we wanted to have a vote where every single vote everybody got a receipt and every single vote could be traced back to every single person, I think most people would say, okay, well, I'm not voting because this is supposed to be a secret ballot. And if you're gonna try to attack me later because I didn't vote for you, I'm not gonna vote. So you can't have a secret ballot without having some level of either fraud allegation or some level of cheating allegation. Let me also say this. In this country, if we don't have a flat tax where everybody pays the same amount of tax, which is constitutional, by the way, you're always going to have me suspicious of you and you suspicious of me of not paying the proper amount of taxes. So in my opinion, this country has been set up in a way where we're always going to be suspicious of each other for some reason or another on that level. So I can't say there was no cheating, but I also can't say that there was, because I'm one person. How can I go around and check all fucking ballots and check? I can't go back in time and watch everybody. Only God knows. So what are you gonna do?
Okay, man. I was just wondering, man. I mean, I was just saying maybe the fact that he did, like, I mean, I know they said the ballots came in late, all them votes in 1 minute at 3 a.m. in the morning, and those glitches in the computer system being found to have,
okay.
I'm just, people put in the wrong numbers, and I mean,
I want you to think back though. Didn't we have that exact same problem when Obama ran against?
No.
Yes, we did. We had that problem. We had glitches in the computer where they said, "Yeah, I touched John McCain's name," or it switched to Obama.
No, not when they was getting thousands of votes ahead at one time. They got mathematicians saying that it was a 1 in 10 quadrillion chance.
But that's all speculation. I don't know if all that's true. See, the problem is when the Republicans are putting their
they showed the screenshots.
When they're putting their evidence forward and everything, a lot of this shit sounds like conspiracy theory. It's just like when they showed that video. When they showed that video of them, and I watched the video. I watched the whole thing fair and square. When I was in the car, I was watching that video where they showed them pulling that cask of ballots from under the table and everything. Guess what? When they went to the state reviewed the videos, and the state itself said, "We watched the video and we saw nothing out of the ordinary. This is how it usually does." Like, first of all, those people know there's cameras in the room. How stupid would they be to be doing that shit on fucking tape?
No, I got you, man. I do think, like I said, man, even with all that, I'm just kind of pushing buttons a little bit. I do think that even if you add in all the cheating, I do think more people still vote.
No, but here's the problem. You say add in all the cheating. I don't know how much cheating there was. How do you add the cheating if you don't?
But I think we can. You just, let's just, even if little or big, I still think more people voted for Biden. That's my take on it. Even if you add the cheating in, exactly. I think more people voted for Biden.
Exactly. But see, the Republicans' argument is that they don't believe that the popular vote should be the thing that does the electing of the next person, right? Thing about it is, even on an electoral college basis, Biden still would have won, because the problem is, even though Trump's economy looked really great on paper, looked really good for stocks.
Trump had a great economy. Y'all got to stop denying this. Trump killed that shit. All right, he killed some trade agreements, and that. Oh, come on, y'all don't want to give credit where credit's due.
I have to say, I've been saying it for years. There was too much underemployment, man. The underemployment is what comes to get you. It's like the the employment rate is great. With the underemployment is what they never talk about. If people are working multiple jobs and they still don't have health care, eventually that shit comes and bites you in the ass.
That's not the fault of look. Trump did his job by putting people to work. Right, companies in general have been offering less benefits. They've been offering no more pensions because of the way the economy has been going, because of automation, and people have been, that's just the way the economy's been going. That's not the government. That's automation, technology, and needing less workers and downsizing. So they've been taking away benefits and pensions before Trump got even into office. But he kept people working even through this time of downsizing with the Jobs and Tax Cuts Act and fixing those trade agreements. But y'all don't even want to give him credit for. This is crazy.
No, listen. I'll give him credit for putting the tax cut through. I will give him credit for lowering the unemployment rate. But you got to remember that underemployment is what comes back to get you. It's one thing for everybody to be working. It's another thing for people to be working but still not being able to afford the quality of life that they think that they should have.
So that's something Biden will fix. Biden will fix underemployment.
No. Listen, I have no idea what's going to happen under Biden because, as you know, the Republicans are talking shit right now about this, saying, yeah, we're going to impeach Biden on day one and all this shit. And you know who's saying that? Andrew Wilkow is saying that shit. And they're talking this up on I listen to conservative talk all day. I listen to Andrew Wilkow. I listen to that guy who comes on right before him, the black guy. What's that guy's name? It'll come back to me. But anyway, I listen to Andrew Wilkow. I listen to Sean Hannity. I listen to Tucker Carlson. They're talking this shit about impeaching Biden. But guess what? If they impeach Biden, Kamala Harris becomes president. So my thing is, listen, you're better off with the devil you know. But they're saying, oh, well, we should do exactly what they did to Trump. Well, guess what? If they impeach Biden and let's say Biden says, fuck it, I'm sick and I want to leave, Kamala Harris just gets to be president anyway. So either way, they still lose.
She's probably going to end up anyway. That dude's health is like really trash. I don't know why Biden's health is like, come on, that dude's barely hanging on. Yeah, he just broke his foot the other day, right? Come on, man. Y'all did. I can't believe y'all did this, man.
Yo, guess what? The Constitution does not have an age limit. The Constitution only has an age requirement, and that is one of the mistakes of the Constitution. That shit should have had an age limit.
Yeah, I think that needs to be implemented because that dude, Kamala definitely probably will.
You know what? Technically, it already has been implemented. Anytime you tell somebody we need term limits, the first thing they're going to say is you already do have term limits. You get to vote. And if you don't like somebody, you get to vote them out. Between the 25th Amendment and between voting somebody out, those are the limits right there, whether or not the person ages or not.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm talking about actual like age. Like, look, man, if you're 80 years old, if you're 75,
you shouldn't be there. You should not be there.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. But you know, it is what it is. That's y'all man's, man. I'm just here for the ride, man. That's y'all man's, though.
Listen, I feel the same way you do. I'm here for the ride.
No, but you are driving and directing. You the reason why this is happening. All right, so
no, not me. The 80-something million people who showed up.
80 million people. Come on.
Yeah, the 80 million people who showed up. What is it your buddy says? He says the numbers don't lie.
More people voted for him than Obama.
But yo, Ramel, of course more. First of all, do you realize that in the last 4 years, do you realize how many kids have turned 18?
Oh, yeah, that's
so
true.
Listen, let me tell you something. When I looked at the number, first of all, you got to remember, all of these kids are liberal, indoctrinated Generation Zers, right? I'm not one of them. I'm a millennial number one. So my mindset is completely different from, I probably know twice, maybe three times what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was. I would say you do too. But the bottom line is these kids are willing to vote for representatives who represent them, and they don't know shit, and they have no discipline, and they're all deep in debt. I'm not anything.
So why y'all had the same interest? Why you had the same interest as people who are deep in debt who don't know what's going on? Why do y'all think?
You know what? And I'll make this really easy. And I know I got a lot of different types of people watching and listening to this part right now. But the bottom line is, all of these young kids from Generation Z and the next generation, Generation Alpha, the Democrat Party has done such a good job of making the other side racists that at this point they were ready to line up against Trump from the moment before he fucking swore in. They were ready to vote. And my thing about Trump is by embracing the motherfuckers with that the Democrats were easily able to call white supremacists and all that, all he did was help do himself in. So when you're talking about that stand back and stand by bullshit to the Proud Boys,
that didn't mean anything. The Proud Boys are not white supremacists.
You say it didn't mean anything, but all the voters who showed up against him think it did.
Yeah, I feel you the perception, but the Proud Boys are not even white supremacists. They got a black, they got a Latino leader that they. That's a Proud Boys. That's what the media just be putting out all this disinformation. Like
the media fucking did Trump in. They did him dirty, and guess what? They did. But that's the thing. The media has been in control of this country for how long?
Well, it never had this much control. I mean,
I would say it has.
I don't know, man. This is a high because all the internet, everything is exponentially bigger. So I don't know. This is a lot of control. They didn't have big influence this time around, man. I don't know if this is ever.
You know what it is? I believe that the media always had this level of control. The only difference is that now that we have the ability to go in between the media, peer to peer, because we have the internet and we have our own social messaging and we have our own ability to do just like what I'm doing now, just like what you do every day. We're able to say shit that they cannot, there's no way that they can intervene. They can't interdict what we say. So the thing about it is, I believe the media always had this control. The only difference between then and now is that now we see it. And we see it up in our face, and there's nothing you can really do about it, So that's what I think.
I would say no. You could. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. The media, it is crazy, man. But like, even as long as you know that they did Trump in, like, you gotta understand,
fuck, man. Trump was fighting against an insurrection, number one, and then number two, he was fighting against a well-organized media coup. And he lost.
So if you know all of this, I just still don't understand.
He fucked himself over.
You're a money man. You're a capitalist. You're a money man. You Second Amendment rights. You're organized. You don't want to pay that. You got capital gain. All these things, and I don't understand why you voting against these things that are going to help your life. No, that just baffles me. Like,
Ramil, you got to understand, man. Especially, you got to understand
you're a yuppie.
The way I make my money, the president doesn't matter.
Yes, it does, because if they put capital gains tax higher, it does matter.
Then that means that I'll stop investing in one place and I'll start investing in another.
When you make money in any security or real estate, that's capital gains.
Only if it's inside the United States of America. I'm spotting fucking.
So you're gonna go do all this. All right, I see what you're saying.
You saying the same thing. You're like, yeah, I need to have me another base outside of America. You spotting the same thing I'm looking for. I might retire to the Philippines and live on $2,000 a month.
Okay, I feel that. So but you'd have to do that even faster now because of the people you're voting in is going to have to make you do that faster.
Well, you know what? Honestly, I don't believe that, but I'll see it when it happens. Listen, I can adjust.
So, but I'm saying, so why are you voting for something that's going to have to make you adjust instead of enjoying?
I wasn't happy with Trump. I wasn't happy with the direction or the attitude of the country under him. That's the bottom line. I really wasn't happy with the attitude of the country. Okay. See, and I know this may be hard.
I worry about policy more.
What if I told you this? What if I told you, me personally, I don't hate Trump. I just don't like his supporters. What if I told
you hate Trump?
No, I don't. I really don't. I really
you went in.
My problem is I don't like his supporters, and I don't like the direction that the country is going in under his supporters. I didn't like that. I didn't like the feeling around me from his supporters. That was the problem.
Now, what kind of feeling? Like, what do you mean?
White supremacy. And they can try to deny it all they want.
White supremacy.
I don't like that feeling.
Do you know you're more richer than most white people?
I know, I am. And the thing about it is, I didn't like because you got to also remember, I live in New York City, right? So the people I'm around are nothing like the rest of the people who are like in all these rural areas and everything, right? Mm. But the problem is, I didn't like it when the patriotism turned to hatriotism.
I never got that feeling, man. I just white people, they just people to me. I don't know what I mean the white supremacy, I just don't like I don't really like be understanding all the way because like I can literally do whatever I want. I can start a business, I can do whatever I want in this country. There's nothing, no anything that happens to me, it's pretty much of my own doing. I got the free will in this country.
Be able to get rich now. I've said that 100 times. It's like you could be a homeless person and you can have a damn homeless blog on the internet and you could be getting money. Like you can think about it like this.
That's true.
You can walk into the freaking library, use a public computer because you're part of the public, and you could use a computer every single day and you can have a blog where you're homeless. They have a fucking homeless channel and these guys get money. And you could internet yourself out of homelessness. There's so many possibilities, but that's existed for a while. That was never because of any one person. That's that's a technology thing. Technology has made it like that.
So how is white supremacy a problem then?
Well, my issue with that is the fact that I will say that I didn't like the feeling of people trying to dominate me socially. So when you got somebody who I'm arguing with and they'll shout Trump 2020 in my fucking face, that shit pissed me off. And I was like, Trump 2020? Well, I got something coming for you on fucking November 4th.
So how does that? I don't understand how does, but okay. So
you know what? It felt like to me that they were using the N-word. It's just that they weren't using the N-word. It felt to me like they were saying, like if somebody look you in the eyes and tells you something a certain way, like on Facebook, I can't tell you, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up, I'm gonna kill you. But I could say, you know what, Ramil, I'm coming to see you later. And there's nothing you can do about that because you know what I mean, but the censors can't do anything about it because I never actually said anything that was against, like, I don't like being socially dominated. So at this point, I just flip the script on everybody. That's what it is.
So to counter the negative feelings of alleged white supremacists, you vote against your own interests.
No, but my interests, you don't like. Here's the thing: it's hard for me to explain it to you because a lot of it is basically private information. But
okay, I got you. Okay,
I didn't really vote against my interests because it didn't like the person who's the president and even their policies does not affect me in the way I make my money or in the way I save my money. What does hurt me is the Federal Reserve making my money worth less, and they were doing that regardless who the president is.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, they
like for instance, the Federal Reserve. Like I was arguing with somebody a minute ago when I'm gonna start letting you in. I just wanted to get Ramil to be able to talk first before everybody get in. But the thing about it is, student loans, for example, Trump couldn't stop the student loan industry. Biden wants to pay into the student loan industry and cancel those loans. I don't believe he's going to be able to accomplish that because the Republicans will still be able to go against him enough to not let him do it. But whether that happens or not, it doesn't change the fact that the country's still $1.7 trillion in debt from student loans. My issue is if you do forgive it, all those kids are going to do is run up more debt. And not only that, every consecutive...
so you don't want them to forgive the student loan?
No, I don't. In fact, I came in on one of the live things you did.
Biden's going to forgive the student.
No. Biden says he's going to forgive it. Myself is not. I'm going to make this real clear because I understand that I'm double talking myself.
Yes, please. I'm not trying to do this, bro. I'm not trying to like make you. I'm not.
Say it like this. My selfishness says, fuck them. If I can pay it off, they should be able to do it too. Leave that stone around their neck. Let them sink to the bottom of the fucking ocean, or let either you sink or swim. That's my selfishness, and I'm able to do the introspection on myself to say, you know what? If the government doesn't do something about them, then the economy is going to shrink anyway because they're not going to be able to work, afford houses, or to afford cars because the loan payments that they're going to be making are insurmountable. So here's my thing. If we could hand $2 trillion to failing industries that just evaporated that money, then why can't you do $1.7 trillion to make it so that these people are able to join the economy? Do you understand my question?
Yeah, because but you answered it. You said that they're gonna run up even more debt, and it's gonna be the same thing. It's like I mean, it's
Guess what? We bailed out all of these industries with a $2.2 trillion stimulus, and they're running their debts up too.
Those industries hire people, they put people to work. They actually
right now they are loss leaders. Even like you bail out these airlines.
Loss leaders for what?
What
are they loss leaders for? Because loss leaders usually take the loss on something to make money on somewhere else.
That's true, but when you look at the airlines, you look at all of these travel vacation things, they're all losing money right now, specifically because there's no travel going on. All these countries are locked down. So the thing about it is you hand them all this money. What are you doing besides handing that money? Like, here's the thing. Why hand that money to the airlines when you could have handed it to the employees, and they could have given everybody $20,000. They could have given every American family $20,000 to ride out this coronavirus thing. What do they do instead? They hand the money to a handful of businesses. They give out the PPP loans, which turned into nothing but scams and frauds. And then what they did was they cut off 300 fucking million out of 2.2 trillion. Really?
I mean, you gotta look. America is a business country, so the businesses got stimulated so that they can keep people employed, so that they can keep the economy still running, so that we have essential workers
going bankrupt. How's that working?
You said what? Who went bankrupt?
A bunch of companies are going bankrupt. Restaurants are going bankrupt. Travel industry is going bankrupt. How's that work?
Those industries were already on their way out. This was a market correction.
The restaurants,
as far as dining in,
yeah, but. Do you know how many of there's more dine-ins than there are takeouts?
And yes, the restaurant industry, as we know it, was declining, just like retail, just like a lot of things, because it was more going towards technology, because people were using technology for everything. People were getting food delivery was already going up. So the world, we know, it was already changing. What the corona did, from how I see it, is that it was just a market correction. It just sped things up. The movie theater industry, all these things, because of Netflix, all these things that people were going out for. The club, it was even slowing down too. You know what I mean? So, because men were starting to be like, man, you know what? I'm not getting no girls, so I'm just wasting money on drinks. So that industry was already going down. They had data on that. So people were already like kind of going towards this direction. I think the pandemic kind of sped it up.
Well, when you use the term market correction, the way I see it, it was like a market seizure, because a market correction is when you overproduce things and then something comes along, people's tastes change, and it causes you to lose money. So you stop producing that thing in order to sell it because it's not going to sell as well. This was not the same thing as a market correction. This was more this was really like a market assassination or some shit. I'm pretty sure they have a term for it in economics, but I'm not even sure what to call this. This was something entire fucking countries are going bankrupt.
Well, I mean, what countries are you talking about? Because a lot of countries were already in bad.
Well, think about it like this. Even if I just point to Philippines for one, or if I point to any other developing nation, not only do they have to deal with the fact that their tourism budget has bin cut to zero, all their income has been cut to fucking zero. On top of that, all of the money that they would have made either related to tourism or related to foreign investment coming in, that's basically been cut to zero. But then on top of that, like for instance, in the Philippines, more than 60% of their adults aren't working right now because of coronavirus. Then on top of that, you've got all of these women. You know what they're facing? They're facing a pregnancy crisis, because you think about it, people have been laying around at home. They ain't got nothing to do but fuck. And they're fucking, and these chicks are getting pregnant in the next, 9 months it takes?
Corona babies,
Corona babies, man. Them corona babies are coming. My cousin, he got his chick pregnant, and they had just had a kid. And they're about to have another freaking kid. And he even said it. He was like, yeah, under that coronavirus lockdown, he wasn't doing the pullout game. And he's got another fucking kid coming.
So you got one on the way too, then? Yeah, you must have
one on the way.
No, you finna have one on the way too, man.
No, not me. They ain't catching me that easy. But believe me, if I had still been over there when that shit happened, because see, I was overseas, but then I came back home. If I was still over there right now, I'd have probably either a kid or twins or some shit.
Oh, okay.
I nearly got caught. Nah, I had her loaded up on birth control pills. I made her take 2 of them shits at a time, and she was complaining the headaches and the bloating, and I was like, nah, but listen, I came over here with just luggage. I plan on going back with just luggage, and that was it.
Yeah, that's how you gotta be, man. Because I can't.
I
I don't know how I get down. I'm not gonna bring the ideology over here, but y'all know how I get down, man.
I ain't playing that because see, if you get babies and all that, all of a sudden you got to sell everything. You got to sell your race cars and shit. You got to.
Yeah, I'm good.
Like I ain't playing that shit right now. But
I'm good.
I'm gonna let a couple of these other people in because they sitting back. They want to get up. But you had anything else you want to say? And you can stay. I'm gonna let them in. I just want to try to keep the voices orderly because I don't really think they're gonna argue that much. I couldn't get any real hardcore Trump supporters in here, or at least I haven't seen any.
Yeah, man, I'll stick around for a little bit. You let them up, man, just see how y'all get down over here. I'm not gonna. Right. I'll chill out for a second.
Okay. So I'm gonna add Chrysler Nate, Slick Rick Johnson. Is that it? We're after everybody else. We got 58 people in here. Slick Rick, Chrysler Nate, what's up?
What's up? It's my first time being in here.
All right. Okay, Chrysler. So what do you think? You've been watching the news?
Yes, I've been I've never been into politics at all. I started getting into it around February because I'm like, what the hell is going on? Plus, I knew that this was going to be the first election that I was able to vote in. So I have a couple of things. So I never knew what was the difference between right wing and left wing and Democrats and Republicans and CNN and Fox. So I started off watching CNN and Fox, and I was starting to label which one was for the blue side, which one was for the red side. And as far as fake news and as far as misleading things from a person this is his first year being into politics, his first time ever seeing any of this stuff, I'm seeing more wrong from the Republican side. They make excuses for the drinking bleach, the one person he paid off.
Oh Lord.
They make excuses for everything he does. They say, well, don't take him so literally. Well, who the fuck are you supposed to listen to? He's the president. He doesn't laugh after anything. His ugly orange face stays straight after everything he says, but we're supposed to take it as a joke. Everything that goes against him needs to be boycotted. These are American companies. I mean, if you ask me what I think the man is a hot mess. Coming from someone who never knew politics.
I agree.
Now, I did write down a few things. I took some notes while you were talking to the other person. Media. How is CNN fake news when I'm watching them? Literally everything now, like I'm saying, from this year, I'm not sure what they've been doing for all 4 years, but this year in particularly, everything they say, they have a point after it. I mean, they have proof after it. They have him saying it. They have a tweet or something. Now, I'm smart enough to decipher if they're blowing it up, but the bulk of what they're saying is the truth because they have video proof of they'll say he says something and then show him saying it. What's fake about that?
Ramon, would you like to answer that?
What are you asking? What's fake about CNN?
Yeah,
well,
if they
when they call Proud Boys white supremacy, that's fake news.
Okay, now that I will say, but Antifa is not a hate group because there's plenty of peaceful people in there too. People have interviewed Proud Boys, and this came out that they're not really white supremacists. People have interviewed Antifa. People have interviewed Antifa and seen that they're not all about terrorists and stuff like that. And neither is Black Lives Matter. That didn't even start like this. Black Lives Matter has been around way before any of this stuff. I mean, all this tearing down everything. This Black Lives Matter just got that label this year. Why?
Well, okay, wait. First of all, let me just say something. When I watched people on the streets with that fucking, and I'm not talking about the protests. I'm talking about the straight up looting and shit. I was fucking horrified, and I was sitting back watching that shit. But the thing about it is, under the pretext of what happened to George Floyd, it was like, yo, they had me there sitting there watching like I was watching The Purge, and it was like, yeah, I was horrified, but I had a horrible grin on my face laughing at that shit. even though I shouldn't have. But the problem is that's how they manipulate your feelings. They're like, yeah, fuck all this shit. They deserve it, So,
and that's something else about the peaceful protest. Now, all these people getting death threats. Now, since the Blues won, I'm gonna say it like that. I don't give a fuck who has anything to say about it. Since the Blues won, why are all these people who are saying that there's no proof and this and that are the ones getting death threats? Are the Democrats the ones who won giving the death threats to the people who are saying there's no voter proof to Trump, or are those the Republicans who claim that they're so peaceful and so beautiful? How's all these people getting death threats? It's not Republicans that's doing. I mean, it's not the Democrats that's doing it. These are state officials. The Biden bus almost got ran off the road. These are Republican people. So let's not act like it's all the Democrats. I'm not stupid. I watch both sides. CNN cannot brainwash me. Only, I guess 90% of the country is stupid. Because like y'all said earlier, the media don't control shit. Not in my brain. They can tell me something. I don't have to believe everything that the media says. You have to be smart enough to decipher this stuff.
Well, you know what? I will say this: if you get fed, information and you get fed it in a certain way, and it comes from multiple sources, it becomes very difficult for you to believe that the reality is anything more than what you're seeing, because all of the background sources seem to say that what you're hearing is legit. Like, for instance, when you watch all these movies and they show you what foreign countries look like, and then you actually go to a foreign country and you realize, wait a minute, this place looks nothing like that. The problem is, yeah, the media really has a lot of power here. It really, really does.
Okay. What? Okay, and I know other people have to talk. I have one more important point. Me myself being a gay person, why should I vote Republican when their whole thing is transphobic, gay? I mean, we should be kicked out of buildings if people don't want us there. Trans don't have no rights. Transgender kids are weird. The parents need to be in jail.
Are you trans? Are you a transgender person?
No.
Because you said us.
Well, LGBT.
So you're a male.
Yeah.
And you're gay.
Yeah.
Let me ask Ramil to answer your question.
Wow. Okay, so this is so out of my league. Big Trucker, you definitely have a very unique channel. I had to say that. I don't. Here's the thing, man. This is my thing right here, man. The problem is that I'm gonna answer this question.
Ramil, let me ask you a question. Is there a way I can get Bro Truth in here?
Yeah, I don't think Bro Truth was side of it. I didn't even know what was going on. But here's the thing, man. I'm gonna just say this. The problem is, all right, since you want to ask why you should vote for, you should vote for who you want. The problem is the conservative people don't have a problem with LGBT and what's going on. What they got a problem with LGBT trying to cast their net all over the world to be publicly seen. Only a small percentage of the population is gay. There's no reason for to be bringing it all to public societies for children are now having to choose their sexuality, where children are now being influenced to go down a certain path because of this. Children should not be choosing their sexuality, in my opinion. So that's why people don't care about gay people. Republicans are not against gay people. They just don't want them to be having so much influence over a society, especially when they only make up a small percentage of the population. That's nothing against gay people, but that's just what it is. It's about.
So when I was growing up, all my cartoons were directed. Okay. You know what a vibe is. A vibe is when there's a energy, but you're not direct. You're not being too direct. You're not being too forceful or whatnot. The vibe of all these cartoons is I have a crush. The boy has a crush on the girl. The boy and the girl sneaks off to do stuff and all this stuff. Why can't we suppress and let the straight kids have it all cool and nice? But the ones who know that they're gay, because it's not a choice, the ones who know that they're gay when they're 5 and 4, they have to feel like they're aliens.
You don't know if you're gay when you're 5 or 4. Because being gay, how do you know what kind of? That means you know what about sex. You know
you do not. It's not about sex. Yes, like I say, it's about crushes. Boys and girls like each other in preschool, but they're not in there having sex.
Like I said, man, they don't know they like each other because they don't know anything about sex.
No,
So
not
what they
about
like,
sex.
so
You
it's
don't
not
have
sexual energy. The way you define sexuality is who you like to what? It's
Who do you have?
sexuality.
Some couples don't even have sex. Some couples, just like the sex and the kids thing, that's a stupid point.
Sexuality.
Some couples don't even have kids.
Heterosexuals
some
means
couples don't
a
even
man
have
likes
sex.
to have sex with a woman. Homosexual means a man likes to have sex with a man. That's the definition of sexuality. You're trying to change it into some emotional feelings. No, the definition is based on who you like to fuck.
Okay, so I can have sex. I can like to have sex with a man. Okay, so
and the problem is children should not know who they want to fuck.
That's not the problem.
Now y'all know why I invited Ramil here so quickly.
Yep.
That's not exactly the problem, because when you have children who know who they like on both sides, they're not fucking on both sides. They just know that they have a crush. Boys know that they have a crush on girls before they have sex.
Children should not be influenced into choosing their sexuality at a young age.
They're not being influenced. They know. I knew before I even knew what gay was. I knew I liked men before I knew anything. Period.
And plus, you can't tell someone else who they like and who they don't.
He's not in my brain.
And it's a lot of studies on this. And it's a lot of studies on this
all of a sudden it's the Democrats that dictate.
It's a lot of studies that shows that this comes from abuse as a young.
Who I liked when I was 5 years old. Who the fuck are you to tell me who I liked? And they don't even make that's the Republican dictatorship right there. Is when y'all try to, well, we know because my cousin or one person. You don't. Everyone's story is not the same.
Okay, let's
just
look
like
at the
everyone is not born gay. Some
sexuality.
people do choose to be gay.
The definition of sexuality, the actual definition, right? It is capacity for sexual feelings. Okay, at a young age, you did not have sexual feelings because you did not reach puberty.
But I knew I liked boys.
All right, man. Look, I can't really like. All right,
you can't because you're not gay. Because you're not gay. That's what I'm trying to.
Hey, big trucker, you call me off. You call me off guard with this big trucker.
Well, listen.
One thing I do want to say.
It's all good though.
but see, Ramil, you see, and because I know Bro Truth would love this one, but the thing about it is, it's young kids just like him who I knew were showing out to these elections. I knew. Back in 2016, I knew they were going to show up to this election. I knew it was over.
Yeah.
I knew it was over for Trump. I knew it.
Yo, can anyone
hear me?
Yeah, absolutely. Now,
Phil
knows you, Garrido. You've been on his show a couple of times because I invited you there. So, yeah, what's up, Garrido?
What I do.
Yo, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right.
Mr. Ramil, life is life, man. Like, heterosexual and gay or whatever, but I feel like this guy, I think we should respect each other. And so I feel like both parties don't represent a certain group. They'll use them and then they'll just like drop him off and be like, I don't want to use him no more because he's not worth my benefit. So it's just one thing I wanted to point out. Like, people, once they have their mindset, they won't change. And like, people have their own things. I feel like we all gotta respect each other, no matter what our differences are.
Nobody's trying to disrespect anybody. Nobody has anything against anybody. Nobody's trying. Everybody respects everybody, but it's just
call it a choice is disrespectful. Because you have people that hate themselves for being gay and kill themselves for being gay and can't change it. You have people like me who moms told them when I was 7 years old, because she could sense I was a little more girly than the other boys when I was 7, tell me, do you know what the word gay means? And I told her, yeah, it means that boys like boys, whatever. She said, right, and you know that's a sin or whatever. So if you ever was to be gay, never talk to me. And I had that thought in my brain since I was 7 years old, grew up on it. That never changed anything other than the love I have for myself.
I don't know if anything I don't know if anything happened, but they link a lot of that stuff to unfortunate situations happening at a young age. Like, I'm just saying, man, that's not my lane, man.
Exactly.
All I'm saying is that it should not be broadcasted to a level. If that's a small percentage of the population, right? Then the majority of society should not be
just like it's a small population of the people who die from COVID. So let them die. Okay, that's the Republican way.
No.
Republican way. If it's not a majority,
first of all, majority of those deaths have been mislabeled. Okay. Those deaths have been mislabeled. Okay, a lot of those deaths were according to the CDC. The CDC said those deaths were mislabeled.
And just let him be, man.
People die of the flu. More people die of the flu. You can't stop people from dying. People gonna die every day. Heart disease.
Herd immunity. Let's just do it.
I'm saying, man, they gave y'all marriage, so there's no reason to be doing the most. That's
It
all I'm
shouldn't
saying.
have to give
All
us
right,
anything.
so, yeah,
It's not
my
doing
man-
the most. It's letting the kids be comfortable with themselves and not want to kill
The
themselves.
kids, the kids should not be okay. I don't understand. How come kids should be? Once again, the definition of sexuality is capable for sexual
You
feeling.
going
That's
off
the
definition. I'm going off experience. Brain. These are straight people writing definitions on Google. I'm telling you from a gay
Damn.
person's brain.
Damn.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm
God
telling you
damn.
from me.
the
And
English
I'm telling
language.
you, and I'm telling you, when I was in
Y'all always
preschool,
wanna
I
change
liked
the
men.
definition.
I didn't like penis. I like.
How did you like men when you were 5 years old? So you like men at 5 years old? This is crazy.
It doesn't affect you, Ramil. So that's why I'm starting to see with America. If it doesn't
How are
affect you,
children
people don't
capable?
care.
No, you know what that sounds like when you say
And
children are capable?
he's small brain because he thinks somebody could see a man kissing a man and think he wants to be gay. I'm
It's
growing
by
up the only
experience. I'm with
child in a
Nate on this one, man.
heterosexual house. I've seen my parents have sex before. It doesn't make me want to date a girl. It's not monkey see,
Your
monkey do
parents,
here.
ain't nobody talking about no. What the fuck y'all talking about?
Come on now, because you are saying influence. The only way you can influence somebody is if they see somebody doing something. If they copy it, that's an influence.
All right, man.
They're not being influenced to be gay. People don't just be
I don't.
influenced
I'm
to be
not
trans.
arguing
Influenced to be
about.
gay.
I'm not arguing about how it happens. All I'm saying, you asked why the pushback from the quote unquote Republican side. I gave you an answer, and you went into this whole spiel.
And it's
even if it
homophobic
is
and
for
it's
the
terrible.
small-
So you gave me an answer. Y'all are terrible homophobic people that should not
Nobody's
be.
homo. See, that's that
voted
word.
for.
That's
Y'all
that
need the
word.
death
Like
penalty.
that's that word with the death penalty. That's that
can't
word I use when
categorize
people don't.
everyone.
Y'all
So people need the
crazy as
death
hell.
penalty for people need the death
For
penalty
not understanding
for not agreeing.
people's human rights that they were
We
born with. If you
understand.
can't
Nobody's
understand, that's
against
like
it.
You can't categorize everyone and say that
Nobody's
they're
against it. Nobody's telling you guys
against-
not to
yeah.
do it. Nobody's telling you
you
guys not
guys
to.
are. If you guys
No.
are like having a problem with every cartoon
here's
and
the thing.
everything,
Ramil-
when we
Ramil's
have
right.
people.
All right,
Seven-
Nate,
right.
Nate,
How?
let Garrido get in.
Yeah.
Ramil has a point. It's like you don't. Oh God, I lost my train of thought. What I was gonna say was, it's all good. It's just there's sometimes this push where the LGBTQ wants to push their beliefs on like.
What's the belief? Y'all have heard of iCarly and
No,
things, right?
wait. Let him explain.
What I meant was they're like in these schools or in these colleges, they're starting to teach you about even little kids now. They're starting to tell them, oh, what gender are you? When they're little. A lot of these things like having boys wear a dress or things like that.
So
I don't think it's really. I don't
So
think
you
it's really
think
a
that
push. I think
these
it's just.
children who wants to kill themselves and their parents have no choice? They're pushing their children to wear a dress. They're
No.
pushing their sons to wear a dress.
Children don't think about putting themselves dresses on.
Oh
when they're
my
little.
gosh, these people.
Well,
it
is some kids though.
So now
It
we
is
have
some
people
kids,
who
though.
not
It
educated.
is documented though. Some kids, it's just
If
it's
you
not a
do-
lot.
if you
Not
do
normal,
the
but
research-
I can't believe we got to argue for kid. Dude, what the fuck?
No,
on
I'm sorry,
kids
Patricia.
shows
I
like
don't mean to curse.
SpongeBob,
I don't mean to curse. I
I-
don't mean to
kids
curse.
shows
respect-
like SpongeBob and
respect your
iCarly and all that
views.
stuff. They
Kids
have
should not
boys and
be
girls
worried about
kissing
all
and
you
dating each
serious.
other. If they can have that for the straight people, they can have it for the gays. End of story. Because those
I
are kid
respect-
shows.
I respect I respect what you're trying to say and how you're getting your point across. But I feel
So
like
it's okay.
Wow,
So it's okay.
Grant,
So it's
man.
okay. So it's
Oh,
okay when
nice.
when the drag. So it's okay when the drag queen reads in front of the children. That's you saying?
Answer me this: is it okay for
I'm saying, bro,
iCarly
I need to
and
understand
kid
what type
shows?
of people we dealing with, bro. You saying that kids should be allowed to choose their sexuality, and so you
Yeah.
telling me that the drag queen that be reading the books at the library, that's cool, bro.
Who's a drag queen reading a book?
At the
Oh,
library.
that was Rag Paul. Some shit.
Oh, okay. Now you forgot. I need to know what.
No, wait. I think I was
I
Rag
didn't know
Paul.
about
I
that.
think that's okay. But here's the thing. I think they're doing it because it's not an influence. It's just telling the kids to be like whatever you go, just be comfortable. Because unfortunately, society, where some people's in society don't like that.
What's
So
this boy's
that's what I
name?
just think.
Ramil on here thinks that the whole LGBT is a 18-year-old or older choice, like buying a
you
car
do
or
not say
something
the
like
whole
that.
community.
I mean,
I think that you no. All I'm saying is that little children should not be influenced to make decisions like this. That's all I'm saying.
When
They
did
should
you
not.
choose to be straight, Romeo? When did you wake up out your bed and say,
First of
I
all,
like this?
being straight without straight natural,
It's biological.
sex,
You were
we wouldn't be
born
here. We
a
wouldn't be
male,
here.
You're with a woman. The man
Okay.
and woman were created.
So we
Wait,
wouldn't-
Garrido,
hold on,
Garrido,
hold
what
on,
you
hold on. We would
So
not
now
be here.
y'all are saying that all men are programmed with a chip to automatically like a woman, and
No.
and if they like
All
anything
men
else,
are
they
programmed to procreate. All men are programmed to procreate. And the way to
Mm-mm.
procreate, how do you procreate?
The reason
some people,
why
some females and males can't even have kids, so that's not true.
the
Okay,
reason
but
why I
still,
brought,
that's
I
your
brought the
biological.
That's
Oh,
the way it's supposed to go, but we're also not supposed to divorce. We're not supposed to curse. We're not supposed. I mean, come on,
I want to intervene here because there's sometimes
Josh.
wow.
there's sometimes times where his interpretation might not like suit your interpretation. So I feel like that there is a certain push, but I feel like if you feel like, you know, let's say you're 15 or 16 and you know you like the person from your same sex, or you like wearing a dress or wearing nails, that is okay, I guess. But I mean,
So-
there's a certain age.
So you
Because-
need to
because-
suffer until you're 15 or 16.
No, no,
'Cause
no,
it's
little
the
boys-
straight people don't get
little
it.
boys-
No, let him finish. Let him finish.
Little boys and little girls, when you're born, you're only like, I do agree that there's a certain, like, I'm trying to give you a perspective into how, like,
Big truck, is that
boy
okay,
and a
Big
girl
trucker?
thinks.
What
I want
is what okay?
You know what I mean?
that picture you showing right now.
Well, you know what? I think I argued this on your channel before because of Title IX.
I'm saying, what do you think? Would you let your kids, if you had a kid, would you let them hang around? Would you be cool with that?
Now we discriminating because you said, would you let your kids
Nobody
hang around
discriminated.
a blank?
I'm pretty sure I wouldn't.
Would you let your kids hang around a nigger? A cracker is discriminating. You were about to say, let your kids hang
That
around
is
a.
different. You can't
I
bring
said-
race.
Yeah, come on, man. You always trying to put. I just asked. Look, man. Look. I'm just saying. Big Trucker said he wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that shit. I mean, I'm just saying, bro. Like, children need to be. They need to have their innocence. Let them have their fun. They shouldn't be worrying about all that stuff. Happen naturally, okay? And they will grow into what.
It will happen naturally, and you should know that just because they see something,
5-year-olds and 6-year-olds and what the hell, man? I don't know what, man.
I would never do
Such
that.
small brains to think
crazy,
that if
bro.
you
That's
see.
I wouldn't feel
brain,
comfortable.
Okay. So let me ask you this then:
I don't even have kids, bro. It's just crazy, bro.
if I raise my children in a house with me and a man,
I
you
wanna
think
hear
they are going to be gay?
I ain't even trying, man.
It's the
Wait,
brain
here's a better
cells for
question.
me.
Here's a
I was about to say
better-
yes,
here's a
it's
better-
the brain cells.
Oh my. Wait, here's
It's
a better
the
question.
brain cells for
Here's
me.
a better question. Say yes if you guys have children, or if you do have children already, and they do come out as non-straight, would you still support them? That's a better question.
If they were straight, I would support my kids straight.
Because
trans.
I'm straight, but I mean, if I had kids, would I let them be around? I mean, I wouldn't mind, man.
What is the
I
let?
wouldn't mind.
Who are you
But,
to
I mean, it's
let
people's
anybody
decision,
do
so-
anything? Why is there a let though? Why is this still even a conversation?
But like I said
You
earlier,
can tell when they're fine.
I think it's just kids
This
out
is sad
there
that people
need
are
to just
able
be
to have
knowledge.
kids
Wait,
like
Nate,
this.
let me explain. I think that, you know, there's Ramel's right on kids shouldn't be worried about this, but I think there's a certain age level where kids need to know, like, okay, if they do
I
have feelings for the
definitely
same
agree
sex,
with
they need to like not be scared to show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think it's not really a agenda that's going on.
But
Of
they should
like,
be taught
you
these
know,
things, because when they're little children, they don't know. You can't,
yeah.
teach them
Yeah,
that.
I think it's just more of like just telling kids like, hey, be yourself, but not anything sexual. Because then I think that will
So when
already
the
like when
kids
that
are
comes up.
So when the kids come to you and tell you I'm a girl, or when they are
My
just
sister,
doing,
my sister is 13, and she came out as non-straight. So I mean, I think teenage years, I think that's a okay time. Because I mean,
Yeah,
come on,
that's an okay
that's when you
realm.
start
Yeah.
questioning stuff. Yeah,
That's
so, I
when
mean,
your
come on.
personality starts to build.
I know parents who let her daughter date at 9 and 10.
I
That's
would
not
never
good.
do that.
Low key, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't agree with that. I just can't.
Well, I'm not saying it's good, but I'm just saying it happens. So since it happens, and
Yeah,
since we
that
go
is
to
true.
public
That is true.
schools and see other kids have relationships, and you feel how you feel on the inside, why is it good for Adam and Steve to have a little go around? But since you feel a certain way, no, we're gonna wait until you older. No, fuck that. No. It's discrimination.
All right.
When they're 9
Well,
years
let's-
old, they don't know.
But they're doing it. You think they don't know. You're not in the
No.
brain. They know. We know. I
Those
knew.
Children are
Nate.
minors. They don't think like a 25-year-old, dude.
But they know who they like.
Your mind matures until you're 25. You realize that, right, Nate?
Lord, y'all going
Low
by
key,
the scientific
Nate,
books and not by
low
real
key.
life. This is crazy to me. This is so crazy to me because
Nate,
I'm
Nate,
telling
Nate.
you that the books are wrong because how I.
The books are
I'm
wrong.
telling you that when
Scientifically
I was
proven.
5, that I like boys. How is you whatever you're saying going to
Nate,
go over
Nate.
that?
El Garrido, he's not trying to make you look stupid. He's not trying to make. I want to say out of the, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the guys here, including Big Truck. I'll say he might attack me, but we understand what you're saying.
You have
Half
to
us
because it's the
don't.
truth.
But wait.
Y'all are straight, but y'all are saying our opinions.
Oh my God, I know. But here's the thing: out of all the people here, I think me and El Garrido, tried to understand you the most, and I think I was the closest to get to what you're saying because I already agree with 2 of the things. But again, just the thing with the kids, kids being 7 and 8. Because boy, I didn't mean. To me, like I said, I'm straight, but I think I was like what, fucking 14, 15 until I even started about if I like dudes or not. Now I'm just saying that's not everyone's thing. And I understand when you be coming from with some kids actually somehow do just come out of nowhere and say about what sexuality they're more attracted to. But I just don't think it's okay to date at a young age.
Me neither.
Okay.
I don't think that's okay. Because
that.
even my sister, she's 10. If she got with a boy right now, boy, oh boy, I got my guns. You know what I mean? Because I don't want my sister to think like that's all life is about. It's like, no. And I'm saying this as a 19-year-old too. So it's like, come on. My first relationship wasn't, I think, 15, 16? So yeah. But no, man, like I said, I want LGBT community to have support. Yeah, I want you guys to have support because it's really fucked up what you guys gotta deal with in society sometimes. Yeah. But like I said, and I got my own sister.
Like
huh?
I said, how about the sex eds? HIV is very high in our community because we don't know what to do.
Oh yeah, so
what
it's a lot of
eds?
Yeah, it's a lot of interpretations on non-straight sexuality when it comes to diseases and shit like that, which needs to be fixed. But I don't really
in the schools though is what I'm saying. It has to be gay sex ed has to be taught in the schools is what I'm saying.
That is taught. Not for me. Actually, that did not got taught for me. Low key. I'm thinking about it right now. That did not. But that should become a standard. In
California, you learn about it.
Okay, so So we agree with. So the only parts that we don't agree with is the lower kids. Y'all agree on the teens and the high schoolers learning about whatever, but the SpongeBobs and the Doras,
they're just not mature.
The little
it's not mature, man. No, because we was all kids.
But why are y'all raising issues and boycotts over Dora and Boots and all these little characters?
Wait, what does TV shows got to do with?
We're not even.
Because what I'm saying is. Because y'all, it was, oh my God. How did y'all
forget? What does TV shows got to do?
It came with influence, right? And I said that, the kids are getting taught this at 2-3 years old from TV shows from day one. Y'all talking about them.
What does TV shows have to do with
anything?
It's
just TV shows, yeah. Bro, it's TV shows. Nate, literally, it's TV shows, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all saying that some other things have influence on gay kids, but the TV shows.
You mentioned 2 whole different things. Cartoons and sexuality is different.
Yeah, because I don't see a problem with cartoons today.
Hey, man, at the end of the day, man,
you wouldn't have an issue with your kids watching watching a cartoon like
Not too
SpongeBob.
much TV. If you're saying about that,
No, listen,
yeah, I want to.
listen. You would not have a problem with your kid watching a cartoon that has a boy and a girl dating or something like iCarly. I shouldn't have said
No,
Dora the
if even
Explorer,
if a
something
show
older.
did had some same sex, which I don't think unfortunately
But
won't
they
ever
all
happen
do,
because
but they all
again,
do,
but
but
if
they
it
all
did,
do.
but if it was, I
They
wouldn't
do.
mind.
It's not
But what
was,
the
it's
hell does
do.
TV? What?
What does this have to do with
Yeah.
like
Because
Nate, I'm trying to get into your
we started
mind.
this with influencing with the first boy. He said that they're
I don't really,
influenced.
I don't really think TV shows even influence
It's the
only
thing. The
boys.
reason why
Bro.
it's okay for them to show that at younger because that's the natural course. So it was,
Okay, but the kids who are naturally gay, they
Oh
get
no!
left
Wait,
out.
Romeo,
that's,
Romeo,
that's,
Romeo,
that's, that's
Romeo,
okay,
Romeo, Romeo, Romeo.
I can't do
Wait,
that. Hey,
wait.
no. I can't. Hey,
Like I
shout out
said,
to Big
there's
Turk.
an
Hey,
intro.
I'm having whatever. I'm having
You know
next
what?
time.
Let me I'm not
Sam,
gonna.
what do the TV shows have to do with it?
Well,
Look
Nate,
at the rappers.
Nate, yo, Nate.
That
I'm
was
not.
a dumb question.
Well, no, let me say this, Nate, and I'll answer this question because I'm not gonna stick on the part about gays too much and their participation in this election too much. But what I will say is this: as far as STDs, as far as sex education, one of the things you need to understand is there's not so much a fear over homosexuality in females as there is in males. And STDs are more likely to spread in males than they are to females. So there's always going to be some level of what they're not going to teach in school, and there's a level that they do teach in school, and then there's also like it depends where you are, but certain things they just don't want to go into. So that's basically that. So I mean, I do hear your
It's a
point,
gray
but
area. It's not a black and white area.
maybe I'll save that for a different.
Please do, because it's sad that they think that the kids don't have an input.
Wait,
It's very
Nate,
sad.
who do you say Nick? Wait, who you
TV
say? Wait,
shows
who
are
do you think
And
is
TV
being bad right
shows
now?
do play a part. Look at how the boys are.
Who
They're imitating
who
the
do you think
rappers.
is
Look
being?
how the girls are. They're imitating the female rappers. Entertainment and things like that. This is how y'all said the news have an impact. The TV shows have an impact on our children. The rappers, the
Nate.
music, all this stuff has an impact. That was
Nate,
a dumb
you
statement.
gotta
Who
chill.
in the group chat right now is the complete enemy right now? Who in the group chat? That's people that's talking right now. Who's the people that's like, bad right now? Just say the names, because if you say me and El Dorado, that doesn't make no sense because we tried to agree with you, like
Well,
literally,
Yeah,
and
dude.
we did.
I'm going by off profile pictures. None of y'all have profile pictures. The black
Yeah,
guy
that's
left.
Categorize
But
all
names,
of us.
I
and
say
say,
names. I'm going by
Yeah.
names.
I don't know y'all names. I'm heated right now. All I can tell is
It's
by
displayed
voice.
right here.
All I see is that we were agreeing on one part, and then y'all got to agreeing with
It was
the
more than
other,
one
the
part.
first one
Wait,
who
but
was
here's one
on
thing
here by
I
saying
want
that.
you to know. Be careful how you say things because you can't categorize everyone and say, "Oh, y'all are against."
Yeah,
this."
please,
We're
because
not.
we legit. Come on, like
We try
I
to
do
consolidate
support.
with
I
you.
understand with you, bro. But it's just
Yeah.
that one thing, which is the younger kids. I don't think TV shows are really pushing that propaganda of only
Yeah.
straight is okay. I really
Yeah.
don't. I don't see no TV shows doing that. Because if
Me
it was
neither.
low key, it would have got some type of boycott already.
So,
I mean,
what TV shows that are popular, like SpongeBob and Dora and things like that, hinting that boys can like boys? Because all of them
None.
hint that girls can like boys.
none.
Okay,
I don't.
so that's
none.
what I was getting at. That's what I was getting at. So you answered my question. So don't try to make me
Alright.
seem like I'm crazy because
But
that's
what
what I
does
was
No, I'm
getting
not
at.
saying you're crazy.
No, but
We're
what
not
does
saying
TV
you're
shows have
crazy.
to do something with it because you really didn't make any sense.
How?
No, he's just
That's
saying.
what
He's
it was
just
at the
saying. He's just
beginning.
saying. Shows pushing that propaganda of non-straight people
and
isn't
that
okay.
too.
That's not
Which
propaganda.
Well, no.
Well, if it is.
What I was saying was all of it is bad. If it's gonna be the gay, if kids should be influenced with the gays, they shouldn't be influenced with the straights. Kids shouldn't know that boys like girls or boys like boys or none of it. Then
Which again they do, but at a certain age.
Here's
But
one
the-
thing that really bothers me when, for example, there's this Brazilian movie that they put on Netflix, and it was about Jesus Christ being a homosexual. I personally am not offended by it, but what I will say is you gotta be careful with how you, like, I'm not saying that that content should be banned, but the people who really, really want to watch it, there should be a place for that. And I feel like Netflix shouldn't be that place, personally.
you shouldn't. You
But
think
let's talk
Netflix
about
should?
But let's
Nothing should be
All right,
divided.
guys,
That's
guys,
so
guys,
divisive.
let's
That's
talk about
divisive.
something else, please, please,
No.
please, please,
I
please.
got people saying they want to get back to the politics of the nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get back to politics.
Yeah,
man.
please, because I see the comments right now, and it looks like a fucking riot.
Start off by talking about the Supreme Court. I don't know if anybody's been following it.
That was so divisive.
But I don't know. Tell me, what did you think
Georgia.
of that? Because keep in mind, Monday is when the Electoral College certifies those votes, and then after that, January 20th, that's when Trump passes out of office.
Well, who do you think is going to get Georgia? Because
That's going to be a mixed bag.
No, Biden's going to get Georgia. Biden's going to get Georgia, and he's going to get.
No, I'm talking about. Is it the House, like the Senate or some shit?
I'm sorry.
The
What?
House of Representatives.
Yeah.
What about it?
No, I was going to say who's going to get the House of Representatives in Georgia because
that remains to be seen. I mean, that could go either way, but they're pouring so much money into it. It's like basically, I personally believe. I mean, it could go the Democrats' way, but they're pouring a lot of money into that shit.
yeah. Well, on both sides, they're pouring a lot of money.
They're pouring a lot of money into it. See, the thing about it, the important thing about elections, in order to make elections more fair, because we're dealing with so much money coming in, it's like, in my opinion, the important thing is to make sure that the other side has no idea where the battleground is.
Yeah.
Or to make sure that neither side has any idea where the battleground is. The problem is they know exactly where the battleground is, and they know exactly where to send their money. So at this point, there's so much money coming in until democracy itself gets drowned out by money. So my thing is, there's been so many absentee ballots requested. My guess is it's gonna be really interesting, but I think it's gonna be really interesting. There's been a lot of absentee ballots requested, so I think the Democrats might take it.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
What's interesting is because before I was on here on this live stream, I was chatting with a couple of people from Europe and Great Britain, how they think of this, and it's pretty interesting. Oh yeah, it's a very whole different. And they view our politics more sort of like
so Justin,
that down
gentlemen.
Yeah, I hear you. We hear you.
Gentlemen,
we hear you.
We hear you.
I'm trying to say that out here in Washington State, okay, they teach this sexual education and choice in the lower grades.
Okay, we're not.
And that was passed through the government just the last election.
No, listen, we're going back to the talk about the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
so we'll save the because it's a little it's an emotionally involved thing. So we'll save.
Are we going to be allowed to go back to that? Because somebody made a point.
That I may have to. I'm going to set up a different chat for that. I'll set up a different chat for that. Right now, I really wanted to focus on the Supreme Court decision.
Yeah, on the election and everything.
Okay, because somebody dropped a bomb that pissed me off, but I just didn't want to go back to it. But as long as you say we can have another stream about it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't listen to the
because the kids
don't listen
matter.
to the comments because some people
how they feel matters. We shouldn't just be pushing them off because they're kids. That's all.
Okay.
I knew I mattered when I was 4 and 5, and my parents told me you basically.
Okay, enough. That'll be for another time.
Okay. All right. So about that election, what about it?
Oh, like I was saying, how foreigners from other European
I
countries
think that the
of
election was pretty well. Okay, can we get off the sexual choice? Can we get off that for 1 minute?
Yeah, we're off that.
Okay, everybody breaks.
Yeah, we're off the sexual choice thing. We're talking about the Supreme Court.
We're talking about the Supreme Court.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Yes,
we are.
We officially stopped. We said it a couple of minutes ago.
We are. I said we are.
I mean, if you're just here for that, then
look, good evening, gentlemen. As far as back to
PJ,
I'd like to say as far as Supreme Court.
I think your mic is a little slow or something because you're a little pixelated in your mic and everything.
You're a little lagging.
You're lagging. Garrido, what were you gonna say?
So yeah, I was gonna say because I had a discussion with a couple of European friends, so they discovered this YouTube channel, and we got on Discord. Anyway, so we started talking about politics and how Boris Johnson, no, I think Nigel Farage would be the equivalent of Donald Trump. Oh my god, that was hilarious. Because it was about the Brexit thing and leaving the European Union, and so how the UK is gonna lose a lot.
Who is that?
And they were talking about how the U.S. is destroying itself.
Michael, can you?
The U.S. will adapt. The U.S.
Michael,
can't really destroy itself.
hear
It's
me?
just going to change.
No, I know it's a change, but I'm saying is that it's at war with itself. If you know what I'm trying to say, it's losing
Whose noise
influence.
is that? For real.
Only time will tell.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like low-key other countries be laughing at us.
Yeah.
Wow, even a question, bro. Oh my God, they are literally looking at us. I mean, I read an article, I forgot where, when they dealt with the COVID situation, and third world countries right now is like, yo, if these guys are first world countries, and we, you know what I mean, like,
Yeah, exactly.
low-key doing better with things. It's just like we are laughing stock right now.
I
Yeah.
spoke to a guy from Denmark, and he was saying how the U.S. is losing a bit of its influence because when he was talking to me, because he knows everything about Greenland because he had a family who lived there, and he says that China was trying to get into Greenland, but the European Union jumped in and said no, you're not going to. So I feel like that there's going to be a mixed bag of everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, listen, the only reason why we're a laughing stock is because Trump has kept up the attacks against the process and he just won't let it go.
Not just Trump, but the people who protected him, because you got to remember that there's a couple of people who really made it possible for him to actually finish his years of being a president. He has accomplices.
Well, you know what? Trump knows that once he's out of office, he already knows that it's basically his political life is over. He can promise that he's going to run.
Trump knows he ain't shit.
He knows he can't come back from this. He knows it, and so do his supporters.
Exactly.
Some of
He
his
can try and get
supporters
publicity.
are fooling themselves. My thing
Trump
is, listen, if you couldn't get the popular vote the first time, you damn sure couldn't get it the second time. There is no third. There's no third time. You have no chance at this point.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, not fine.
And see, this whole thing about the electoral process and making it so more people can come out to vote, that shit right there means you're done.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy because some people that I know are Trump supporters are still going to the fucking helping the economy. I'm like, oh my god. I don't get it. Like, what has he really done? One good thing to the job market or whatever?
Well, here's the thing: a lot of the people who are Trump supporters and they believe in his economy,
Donald Trump destroyed the unions.
You gotta
he has done this.
What?
Done nothing good his whole 4 years of being president. He's done nothing these whole 4 years of being president. He's done nothing but fuck up.
He's torn the country apart. I'll give him that.
Yeah. El Moff, is that you? Sounds like him. Yeah.
He divided and conquered.
Another thing too with this is I heard with
Wait, say it again.
Is that you, El Moff? I guess not. Anyway, no, I was going to say with the job thing too. It's sad because that affected so many nonprofit, organizations and shit, and a lot of people don't actually know that too. So it's like, come on, man. The tax cuts to the corporations was really messed up because like now they're just getting more greedy with money. It's like it's really not. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, see, we're in a situation right now where, regardless how well his economy is doing, his people just love him and they don't want to let him go, but he's gone.
It's a cult. It's a cult, low key.
Exactly, it's a cult. I've always said that. He's fucked. He's done.
And Peter Schiff
He has to
stated
go. No
that-
choice.
Peter Schiff has stated that it's not over yet. That we're gonna see a much bigger crisis because just because Trump
It's
left
over.
doesn't
It's
mean
over.
that
It's
the
over.
problem is solved.
He has no chance.
That is true. I mean, it's going to always be problems, and
I have to agree with that.
after these 4 years, it's man.
The
I don't know.
solution
I don't
should
really have
also
hope.
be we should really cut down on military industrialization in one way, because honestly, the way things are heading, people are getting tired of things, and people want public services at work, and that's the problem. Everything is being spent on the military.
Yeah, and I think low key too. I think that's going to. I mean, it's going to take a while, but I think
It's a deterrent.
I believe. I'm not. Yeah, I don't. I'm not speaking to the whole young generation, but low key, we don't really give a shit about war as much as what is it? Fucking oh, I can't think of their fucking names.
World War II.
Well, yeah, but people like the babies and oh my god, I cannot think of their fucking
Most
names.
of the wars
Just
were
older
useless. Vietnam War, Korean War, all those wars were useless.
Well, yeah. So people born in that era, I mean, they're old already. They already live a long life. So it's like their beliefs is just getting replaced. And like I said, I think it's not even just going to be our country. I think there's going to be a lot of countries with kids not really giving two craps, unless except the countries that are communists. I mean, I think that's always going to be in those children's heads. It makes sense, but regular countries and shit, I don't really think our generation really cares about that. So I feel like there's going to be a little shift with that, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, it's crazy because honestly, it's like we've already caused a lot of damage and harm in the Middle East and everywhere, and I feel like we have to fix ourselves. But it's getting to a point where it's getting worse and too late than that, because we only have a few trillions of dollars to print out from the Federal Reserve, and after that, the world isn't going to tolerate us.
Fuck yeah.
It's getting into a point where it's inedible, and that's okay.
Yeah. Do you think the Middle East will ever get better?
50 years.
I mean, do you think
probably not. America's getting even worse. We don't know if it's gonna get better or not.
I mean, because like I said, I wonder how, besides with this COVID, let's just say, the younger generation of kids from the Middle East, I wonder, even with some of the propaganda that might be going on down there, I really feel like they still really don't fuck with us because of some things that, previous years of what happened. And I don't want to get to the conspiracy theories, but yeah, man, I don't know. It's unfortunate. Is he on? Mr. Blacktop's on?
Oh, no, I thought you were Mr. Blacktop.
Oh, no.
Is
Rick,
Mr. Blacktop
you already know.
here? I don't see him.
No, it's because I thought his voice really reminded me
Yeah,
of
the Middle East is not going to get any better anytime soon. But I have to say, the only problem there is the poverty and the constant warfare and everything. And then you got to remember, there's a lot of people who don't want it to get any better because then they lose control of it. So, I mean, granted, the Middle East has places like Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and they have places who've gone straight capitalist. And they are improving themselves, but then for every one Dubai, you've got like 30 fucking Afghanistan, So it's like,
that is true.
my only thing, and I've been over there, and I enjoyed being in Dubai and everything. My only thing was, it's too bad the whole rest of that place can't be like Dubai, But I mean, in time, everything is going to get better because eventually, as capitalism improves things and it brings more money into places, things eventually do get better as governments get stronger and more money comes in. But it's like right now, it probably, it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of time.
Yeah. Capitalism with a mixed economy.
I mean, America had most of the same problems that places like the Middle East have had. I mean, they've had horrendous fucking women's rights. They used to burn witches here. I mean, you know, they had the whole civil rights thing, the fight for blacks. They used to lynch people. We got the same fucking problems that we've always had. It's just that over time, things slowly get better. So yeah, I mean, things will get better eventually, but it's going to take a long time.
I think the most
Yeah.
extreme country would probably be Brunei, like the country in like Southeast Asia where it's all like Muslim. I heard that you get stoned to death if you're like
The fuck?
yeah,
Damn, bro.
like you know,
Stoned to death if you do what?
if you're like public display of affection with another man, like homosexuality.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Fucked up.
Those Middle Eastern countries don't fuck around with homosexuality. They pretty much make that understood.
Some of them will tolerate it, like the UAE. Some of them will tolerate it, but Brunei, I heard it's pretty bad.
Well, UAE doesn't really tolerate it either. In Dubai, that shit'll get you fucked up.
No, yeah, well,
Or at least you'll go to jail or something.
Yeah.
it'll be less.
I'm sorry, keep going.
It'll be less severe than Brunei. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah. What do you guys think about how? And I know this is going to be a little mixed bag, but what about African countries? Because you know they. Oh.
I heard
They have a lot of
Rwanda's
shit.
doing pretty well.
Mm.
Yeah, you got Paul
Because
Kagame.
Yeah, because I forgot that one organization. I literally just read about them, not even like a couple of days ago, but I heard there was fucking a lot of shit. And then I guess, I don't know, just to hire people in power with the, you know, Black Lives Movement. I guess they made a message to like the fucking president in one of the countries was like, yo, like you gotta start treating your own people better because, you know, shit that be going on. It
And then you got
basically
Akon
they treating their own like who?
Akon.
Oh, let's not go to him. All right. I mean that's cool. Hopefully it works. Yeah, let's see. Oh, talking about cities, how do you think these companies are like fucking what is it? Ford and Google and fucking what was that? I think it was Toyota that are making like, you know, actual cities and countries. How do you think they're gonna you know, how do you think they're gonna do?
Electric car companies are going to thrive.
Oh, well, you know what?
But yeah, but
Corporations making cities and stuff. I mean, that's just part of, improvement under capitalism. We'll have to see.
yeah, because I mean
Can't
they
wait
gotta
for-
worry about all shit. They gotta worry about fucking, you know, I mean protection and fucking just
I can't wait
utility.
for
They
the
gotta worry
Candy
about it.
car brand to come in. Candy, the car company who's selling Chinese electric cars for under $10,000.
Mhm. Mhm. Are they legit though? Or are they kind of like Hawaii, kind of
No,
like fucking?
They're legit. They're being
Are they
approved by the
legit?
government. Yeah, by the.
Cool. Yeah, like I said, I'm trying. I mean, I'm pretty mad at myself because not trying to get off topic, but
Yes,
I'm
yes,
legit
yes,
still
yes,
trying to get into the
yes.
stock market right now. So trying to invest in that, not as much like, you know, Big Truck said, but
I thought you were
invest
gonna
in
do a
Candy.
Discord, John.
Yeah. Same.
You know what? I realized that StreamYard, this is easier to do, and it actually,
This is like it.
well, StreamYard actually it works a little bit better than Discord, unless I figure out a way. See, the problem is if you want to stream to YouTube, there's only so many things you can use that it'll allow you to get all these people in here, because you see that it looks a lot different than usual. Like when I go into Discord, it doesn't look like this. But this makes it a lot easier for me to highlight people's comments and stuff like that. It also,
gotcha.
you know, so basically I'm testing this out unless I find a different thing, you know, unless I find something else.
Gotcha. This will
Yep,
be
yep.
like a pilot for you to use. Meanwhile.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out a way, because see the problem what I've realized about streaming is you basically almost need if you're going to stream games, you need two computers to do it. You need the
enjoying your
gaming
PS4,
computer
by the
and
way?
then you need the streaming computer. What?
Are you enjoying your PS4, by the way?
Oh
Oh, you
Lord.
mean PS5?
Yeah, my bad. PS.
I've been playing Cyberpunk. I haven't been playing PS5 at all.
Oh no, I know you haven't. I know you just unboxed it for the thrill of it for show off. You're like, might as well do the unboxing to show off my PS.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
That was a nice show off move right there because
That was a teaser.
the thing about it is it's like because these goddamn scalpers, they've made it so that just about every new release it's a fight just being able to get stuff. So it's
And
like
then-
me
and then you
personally,
got
I'm
kids who
amazed I
don't
was
really
able
Fuck
to
these
get it.
scalpers, man.
Yeah, I know it's true. Fuck them.
And you
Well,
got
I
kids
mean,
who
I
don't
heard
really
one of them got
Scalpers.
the-
This shit needs to stop.
I heard
these
one of
scalpers. Y'all
the
hear me?
scalpers.
Y'all
Wait,
hear me?
I heard one of the scalpers. Yeah, we can hear you. I heard one of the scalper groups fucking order got canceled, which was fucking
Okay,
funny. I was
thanks,
like,
I'm
ha.
vibing.
That should have happened. That should have happened to all of them.
I know.
See, in my opinion, listen, if you
Thank you.
see that something is being released and you go out and buy something and you intend to resell it, even if you intend to resell it at a higher price, that doesn't really make you a scalper. But if you're gonna buy up fucking thousands of them, or you're gonna buy up hundreds of them, or something like that, that's totally different. That shit shouldn't be allowed, and the stores have to be vigilant to make sure it does not
Yeah.
happen.
Hey, John.
Yeah. Yeah, Microsoft and Sony fucked up with that shit. And like you said earlier on one of the videos,
Excuse
they should have
me?
let one
They
person
should've
per
taken
household.
pre-orders.
Microsoft fucked up with it.
Yeah,
Sony
Microsoft
fucked up with it.
fucked
Nvidia fucked up with it. AMD fucked up. But then again, every single new toy that's been released has gotten scalped.
Although I will
Sure.
say
Fucked up
this,
everything.
I will say that there are some kids who don't deserve the PS5 on this.
Yeah. Imagine if vehicles got fucking scalped.
Imagine
That's
if
true.
what?
If vehicles got fucking
Yeah, but
scalped.
vehicles,
I swear to
shit.
God.
vehicles basically did get scalped. When these new
When?
cars, when a lot of these new cars, one
Vehicles
second,
get
when a lot of these new
That's
cars come
bullshit.
in, the dealers buy them up, and then the dealers resell them at a high markup. That's scalping.
True. That is true. That is fucking
Exactly
true. I
what
didn't even
it
talk
is.
about that. Yeah. Yo, what's funny?
Yes.
What's funny? I'm not trying to get off top. Yeah. I'm not trying to get off topic, but actually, me and my girl went to a fucking dealership. I'm not going to say what brand because I know John is going to say ew. I'll tell you, it's not American. But yo, it's so funny because fucking, I was speaking to them because they're coming out with a new fucking turbo engine, which you know how that turbo engines are, and they was trying to make it seem like turbocharged engines is fucking better than just supercharged and all that shit. I want to ask John what brand you think this was from.
Subaru, Mitsubishi, Honda, or I heard somebody talking about one of those companies having a new engine coming. It could have been even Mazda. I don't remember.
Yep, it was Mazda. It was Mazda.
So,
Mazda,
bottom
shit.
line is, here's the thing. Turbochargers are really good for horsepower, right? But what they're really bad at is they're really bad for low-end torque because in order for a turbocharger to spool up, the car already has to be moving because a turbocharger gets its energy from the car's exhaust. So the car has to already have an engine spooled. The engine already has to be moving the turbo fast enough to make it spool up and get enough air into it in order to pump more air into itself, right? So while a turbocharger is pretty good for a light car to get more horsepower and to get more speed, turbochargers are terrible for low-end torque. In order to get low-end torque, you need either an electric vehicle or you need a big displacement engine, like even a big 4-cylinder or a big V6 or a big V8. But nowadays, everything is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So instead of you having like a 3-liter 4-cylinder, you've got a 1-point-something liter 4-cylinder, right? So the thing about it is, if you're going after a Mazda,
let me give a perfect example.
Yo, your Elsef, your connection is bad.
My mom's 1.7 liters, 4-cylinder.
What?
Okay, so what I'm
using my data, so
Yeah, no. Well, you're. Oh,
I don't know
well,
what-
yeah. Don't use too much of your data, or don't use it all up because your connection is bad. But anyway,
Yeah.
well, as I'm saying, if you want the mixture of forced induction and you want good displacement, that's what SRT is for. If you're
Yep,
looking
and
for
that's
an
what.
economy car and you're looking for something that's not going to cost you a shit ton of gas, then yeah, you go with like a Mazda or something like that.
Yeah.
Especially for
I mean, don't.
huh? What? Well, I'm sorry. What you say?
Yeah, El Grito. Yeah, what's going on?
I was gonna say that I have a neighbor who has a Mazda CX-3, or it's like a SUV, and I know
CX-30 or CX-3?
CX-3.
Oh
then,
God.
And then he like he had it for like a year, and then the transmission broke.
Oh,
He had problems with the transmission, so he got rid of the damn thing.
yeah, Mazda. They had a little problem with their fucking transmissions because for some odd reason they're the only last car company to still use 6 speeds. For some odd reason, I heard like they're making a new, 7-speed, 8-speed transmissions. But yeah, I heard like the early, Mazda 3s, CX-3s. I mean, had a problem with transmission issues. So, I heard that they fixed that, and like I say, we went there. We looked at the CX-30. I mean, it's a nice car. It beats the shitty ass Honda CR-V because the stupid thing about that car is, like what John said earlier, they're downsizing these engines, but these engines barely make no fucking horsepower, and the car is pretty heavy, so it's still drinking up gas pretty quick. That shit has like a 1.5 liter. Yeah, and it literally drinks more gas. It drinks the same amount of gas as
let me explain that. Well, let me explain that right there. See, the thing about it is people always thought turbochargers were better because they were going to get more fuel economy and give you more power. Here's the problem, though. When you buy a turbocharged car, you have to use premium fuel in order to get peak horsepower, right? So that already means you got to spend more in gas no matter what, right? Here's the other problem. The more you put your foot down, the more boost you're putting into the engine, which means the more fuel it has to use to achieve that boost. So turbocharged cars typically end up getting fuel economies just as bad as a forced induction fucking V8 if it's done right. Now, yeah, if you have like for instance, if you had like one of those old Panther platform Fords and a V6 or 8-cylinder, you probably get better fuel economy than a turbocharged new car,
Yeah. Someone said in a group chat, Street Speed 717 mostly definitely scalping cars. Oh my God.
I don't know how many people follow him, but I don't follow him.
Oh, you don't follow him?
No, I kind of followed him when he had the McLaren, but after that, I don't follow him no more.
Hey,
John. I don't really follow a lot of car channel dudes.
Yeah, some car channel dudes I'll follow, but most of them I really don't.
What do you think of the Eurofighter jet, the fighter combat?
Wait, what do I think of what?
The Eurofighter.
Compared to what? I mean, you're not putting a Eurofighter up against an American fighter.
Yeah.
Because the F-16 would have you dead to rights, and the F-35 would kill you just the same. Those European fighters are, they're not as aggressive, they're not as nimble, they're not as agile. It's like if you're fighting against ground targets, yeah, they're great, but if you're fighting against an American fighter, you're dead.
Why is that?
Right.
Our fighters have better technology. They have because the 5th generation of fighters makes it so that a pilot has drones and shit flying with them. So it's like you're not beating all that. We're spending top dollar on our airport. Europeans can't afford it.
I think that's why they came out with a new generation of Eurofighters. Probably.
Yeah, well, the new generation of Eurofighters is it's good, but you have to understand the F-35 and the F-22 were designed to beat the next generation of their stuff too. So it's like, fortunately for them, they'll never end up fighting us. But if they ever did, we could forget it. It wouldn't even be worth it.
Yeah.
Man, I don't have faith. I know I'm not trying to go back to the car stuff, but I really don't have no faith in FCA or soon to be Stellantis, which that's still a dumbass fucking name. I'm still going to call them by FCA.
I will wait. I'll wait to see what they come up with in order to replace the Jeep Grand. Because you know what's happening is the Durango Hellcat's being produced, and then after that, the Jeep Grand Cherokee for the new one that they're redesigning is going to be produced in the factories that's currently making the Durango Hellcats, and that's in limited number. So they're about to obsolete all these platforms. I'll just have to wait and see. I'll just wait and see. I don't want to buy anything new until I see what's new.
Yep. I just don't have really. I don't know, man. I feel like this is going to be another Daimler Chrysler situation, man. With fucking Peugeot and God knows what the hell. I forgot the car company's names. I just feel like it's going to be
Marconi. Sergio Marconi.
I mean, yeah, I know what Fiat. I mean. Yeah, they're a mixed bag, man. I don't think they. The only thing I do agree is they should have never killed off the Magnum. That was a dumbass decision, but that's called Americans not liking wagons for some odd damn reason, and just liking SUVs. It's pissing me off now because you got the same space and it handles better. What the fuck are you losing? But people want to be high up and shit. Which I mean, I can't blame them, but like, come on now.
Well, I've been saying it was stupid to kill off the Magnum from the very beginning. But see, the problem is they killed off the Magnum right when the economy started shifting towards SUVs. And what kills me about Chrysler is Chrysler invented the SUV when they made the first Pacifica, and then they just gave up on it. And I'm basically, like, why the fuck didn't y'all bring that car back? Because right now Chrysler has no cars. If they were still making the Pacifica and they were still making a special edition 300 or something, they'd be making some damn good cars, but they just fucked it all up.
Yeah, I would say Fiat did fuck them over, and it's like now we don't even know if Chrysler's going to continue or just be a take another just rebadge basically. I'd rather let Chrysler just die off. I don't want their brand legacy to just be fucking.
Because I did some research. And it says that probably like the only few that can withstand against the F-35 would be like the Dassault Raphael and a couple of others.
I gotta start getting into this jazz. This sounds interesting.
Have you heard, John?
Huh?
How the only ones that could, because I did research and you were right, the Eurofighter is like doesn't really withstand a chance, but I've heard that the Dassault Raphael kind of does.
The Dassault Raphael against the F-35 or the F-22 means that the Dassault Raphael pilot dies. And you have to understand these fighters now, these things aren't designed for they can dogfight, but they're not designed for dogfighting. An F-22 is designed to blow you away before you ever see them.
Right.
So, like, if you're flying around, your radar won't even know the guy's there, and you're just dead.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's designed for air superiority. Not only that, the F-22 is designed to work behind enemy lines. So that means that thing can get behind enemy lines, fly around, do its mission, and you'll never even know he's there.
Imagine if the Chinese come up with one of their own.
What'd you say?
Imagine if the Chinese come out with their own version.
They're trying, like the Chinese have one called the Su-57, I believe. And they're trying to basically do as much as possible. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, for real.
Hold on 1 second. I think that's all right. I'll wait and see if it pops up again. But no, the air forces of most of these countries, they don't spend anywhere near as much money as America spends.
True.
So it's like if you go up against these air forces, you can forget it.
Yeah,
Hey,
I mean,
big-
it's
America's
possible.
got you dead to rights, basically.
I mean, it's possible, but it would just have to be a different force. It would have to be more planned out, I guess.
I'm reading the chat right now. Nathaniel, well, Big Truck Nathaniel said, "Can you send the link?" Which I mean, I
I
don't.
sent the link a couple of times. I put it in the chat a couple of times, you know, and I was trying to get some Trump supporters in here, but I guess they just gave up. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like I mean, how many times can I tell you I was right? I mean, you know, that's just what it is. And it is 11:55, so you know, very soon I'm gonna end up closing out on this thing because I know I'm definitely gonna reconvene on Monday. And after,
do you know what time?
I don't know what time the Electoral College is going to render its decision.
Will you do it on Discord this time, or will you see how?
I'd actually prefer to use this. See, the thing about it is when I use this format, it's actually it's a direct. When you log into StreamYard, it gives you a direct connection to YouTube, right?
Oh, really?
So notice it's easier to hear each other. It's easier for me to once I figured out that I had to let myself into the room, then I had no more audio problems. And if you notice, it's easier for everybody to hear each other equally. And it's also easier for me to show you a screen share. It's actually easier. This is actually a bit easier to use than Discord is.
Right.
It is. Unless I figure out a better way to connect Discord to StreamYard or to YouTube. But one thing I've realized is a lot of people who've gone to streaming, they use StreamYard or they use OBS, you know?
Right.
And OBS gives me a lot of issues because it's very confusing.
All right. Also in the group chat, Ayo Dre said, "You see that soft top convertible Charger? Please, God, no." Devontae, he was like, "I don't want Chrysler to die again." Me too, but I don't want them to just sag to shit like fucking how some other brands did, like Scion and shit, or like Saab even. Kendrick said,
What
in the world?
I said, can anybody hear me now?
We can hear you now, yes.
Okay, I was cut off for like a half an hour. Fiat.
No, what happens is the system supports 6 people at a time, right?
Okay.
I guess they figure anything more than 6 would be chaos. So the problem is I have to end up letting one person leave before you can invite anybody else.
Okay.
The system tells you how many people it can support. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 6.
Okay. All I wanted to say was FCA, their whole thing they have right now is great. When Mercedes had them, they were supposed to be making Mercedes type luxury cars to compete with people. No, they wouldn't give them any parts. They wouldn't give them anything but a few heavy platforms.
Yeah.
Fiat has changed Chrysler around. The new 200 is based off of Alfa Romeo. They changed the 200 around. The new Compass compared to the old Daimler Compass is a big difference. The new Grand Cherokee, they finally are.
I wonder where John's at.
They're able to show their ass.
Wait, John?
I'm listening to you talk.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they've been doing so good under this partnership, and now we finally have a handling company, which I don't give a fuck about handling stuff, but we finally have a handling side. We finally have Alfa Romeo, like the fastest, most best handling cars in that segment. We got the.
Hopefully, this election's gonna be over. I'm tired of this.
Well,
shit.
what's going on here? I cannot. I hear El Grito.
Oh wait, are you in your car? Because I might have to mute your mic. Because are you in your car?
Yeah, hold on. Let me leave out this car because I left my keys out the house. That's why I was doing that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but understand something. FCA has pretty much fucked Chrysler up because if you really think about it, the Dart got canceled, the 200 got canceled. They acted like they're going to cancel the 300, and right now Chrysler doesn't have any cars. They only have 2 minivans.
Well, as far as the Chrysler brand itself, yeah, they could have, but the Dart, the only reason why, and let me get this understood.
It was too small.
The reason
That is true.
The Hondas and Accords and stuff like that sell is because Hyundai and all them people, they came to this market with those shit boxes. That's all they're known for. Chrysler will never discontinue, I don't think, the Charger because that's what they're known for. But the Accord, it don't matter how bad mid-size sedan sales go, they will always make the Accord because that's what they're known for.
Yeah, I just want this election to be over, honestly. Like,
Chrysler's not known for the 200. Chrysler's not known for the Dart.
I want them to already have.
Well, no, but here's the problem though. First of all, the 200 used to be called the Sebring. And Chrysler changed it over from the Sebring to the 200, which I thought was stupid. But I don't even know why they felt they needed to do that. They could have left the name as Sebring because people recognize that name. Then after that, they just simply gave up on it because it was too small.
It is too small, and people think it got discontinued from
Holy
trans
shit.
problems and all these problems. People don't know. Acura and Honda use this same transmission with the same problems. Fiat uses Toyota.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Okay, I thought I muted myself.
Through their thick ass skull. Fiat is not an unreliable brand. They use Toyota transmissions. No one talks about it. And the Jeep Cherokee and the 200 had transmission issues that Honda also have, and it's the same transmission. Now, as far as for the 200 isn't. They've never been a sales king. It's always been Honda or Toyota Camry. The 200 offer way more features than the Honda Accord. The Honda
this came out a year ago. What the fuck?
Have all-wheel drive on the
Mike, you're still not muted.
What the fuck is going on now? As far as for
you're still not unmuted.
Who?
Oh, okay. It's because I'm reading this article from Defense News. It says Germany officially knocks F-35 out of competition to replace Tornado.
Yeah, well, you got to understand, Lockheed Martin's got everybody by the tail. Lockheed Martin basically says that the problem is most of these other countries, they're not at war with anybody, so they don't want to buy. They don't want to buy any of those things, but they're being forced to basically buy it or be obsoleted.
Oh, really? Oh, damn.
Yeah, so the problem is, because you got to remember, the F-35 is one jet that they're trying to sell as three. They're trying to replace the F-16, and they're trying to replace the F-18 with it, and they act like they're trying to replace the A-10 Thunderbolt, which I think is crazy. But they're trying to make a carrier-based VTOL plane, so they're trying to get rid of the Harrier too. So my thing is, it's like they're trying to do a lot of things with just one plane design. And in the long run, it might actually work out. The problem is the damn thing costs so much.
Yeah, the project's a lot of money, and with its limitations.
Yeah, it just costs so ridiculously much. You know, most countries don't want to bother with it because they know that they're not just buying a jet; they're buying a program. And when you're buying into Lockheed Martin, it's a lot of money.
I heard that the French military and the German military actually have pretty advanced. Like I know that France has the Charles de Gaulle that can, because they're the ones. I think one of them, maybe one of the only ones that have a what's it called? Like a thing where they have where the jet can like retract or something like that.
Wait, you said it has a what?
The Charles de Gaulle has like a catapult for the.
John, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now, Dave. There's a lot of mic background coming out of your back.
All right, sorry.
Who's this guy, Mike Down Under? Who are you?
Michael from Australia.
You're from where?
Australia.
Oh, Australia. Oh, what do you want to say?
Hey.
I just listen to you go. I just listen to you all the time on your Facebook down here, and it's really refreshing to hear another side of the story. What's happening in America?
Oh, what's up? We got an Aussie on here. What's good?
Okay, so what's up? What do you want to say besides that? What do you want to say?
Hey.
Oh no, you're just listening to you about the jet fighters there. The F-35 is a killer. I reckon we should have got it rather than the jets we've got, because the only problem with it is that you need congressional approval to get it from you guys, and it costs so damn much.
Yeah, well, that's what I was basically saying. First of all, somebody asked about the F-22, and I said the F-22 was discontinued because the cost was so high, for one. Number two, we're not really at war, so we don't really need them. And number three, we already had a lot of jets that could do the same job, but better and cheaper. So the thing about it is it's good that we have them. The thing about it, it's just so expensive. it's not you. It's just too expensive. And the same thing happened with the F-35. Basically, Lockheed Martin was trying to sell everybody. They're trying to sell everybody Maybachs out of fighter jets, and everybody can't afford that.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah, I can understand where with the actual economy as it is at the moment and everything like that. It's hard for any country to sort of, especially with COVID knocking all the economies around. It's hard to see how. I can see China bouncing back stronger than any country in the world because their economy is self-sufficient now.
China's not trying to fight anybody. China wants to dominate people economically.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing to Australia at the moment.
Yeah, and they're doing it to the entire Southeast Asia.
Damn.
Oh shit.
So basically, Australia. I mean, Australia has a strong enough economy where you don't have to worry about China taking you over. It's just that China is going to be the dominant force on that hemisphere. That's just what it is.
In the Pacific region, that's what they need. That's what they're doing. They're trying to take over the actual Pacific region, like fire. They actually built all their military bases in the sea over there. They made their own island base as well over there. They made as well. And so what's happening with America, I heard, is that they want to bring up their Pacific fleet again. It's gone to rack and ruin. They want to rebuild that up because they want to come back over our side and strengthen their side of the Pacific as well, so they can make themselves strong enough to put China back in line again.
Well, I don't see that happening. I think China is going to be very economically dominant for a long time. China doesn't really need a military. They're going to basically take over all of like Asia without firing a single shot. They don't want to use the military. They don't have to.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you're saying, but somebody has to put them in line.
No, but the thing about it is, if they're using the economics to be dominant, then there's nothing to put in line. It's kind of like Bruce Lee always called it the art of fighting without fighting. That's basically what they're doing.
Yeah. I know what you're coming from. They're doing psychological warfare, basically, as well as economical warfare.
Yeah, well,
anyway, we can go back to cars if you like. But, politics takes a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot happening at the moment over here. I just thought I'd bring it up. I just wanted to know what your opinion.
Honda sucks.
Oh, that's all.
Well, you know what? All I can really say, because the thing about it is, I've been in your area a lot because I come down to the Philippines. I've been down to countries down there in Asia. Yeah, I try to stay. I want to come back to the Philippines this summer. And the thing, I haven't been to Australia yet, but I have friends who went to Australia last year, or they were going there or whatever.
But down under, we're COVID free.
Yeah, you're COVID free, right? Yeah. Well, my only thing is, it's like all your country can really do is just focus on being the best it can be, but you can't worry about China because you're never going to be able to beat them.
I didn't say we're going to beat them. We just want to have our fair economics and our trade and everything to be fair and not have to, have China dictate to us how they buy things off us. And if they don't like what we say about something, we can't actually voice our opinion without upsetting China and then them putting a tariff on our wine, for example, of over 200%, and plus not banning our lamb, banning our meat produce into their country, and also other. There's a lot of other stuff going on at the moment.
Well, here's the thing you got to understand. Australia, you only have 25 million people. You've got less people than we have in California. And in fact, you also have less people than are in Canada, but you've got very large land masses, right? Ultimately, the reason why you can't really compete so easily with the Chinese, especially when it comes to trying to even up fair trade, is simply because they have so many more people and their people are willing to work cheaper than you can possibly afford. So that's just what it is.
Yep. They've got a population that's out of control, basically.
Piece of shit fucking Toyota fucking Prius is taking up my damn fucking space.
Oh my god!
All right, I got mute him. I'm sorry. Yeah, but that's basically it. I mean, what business line are you in, Mick?
Oh yeah, I work in the government over here. That's all I can say. Sorry.
You work for the Australian government?
For the government. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, understand something, Mick. The same thing that you are thinking is basically what a lot of Americans are thinking. But I know enough about China to understand that America and Australia don't have a chance against China. Not economic. Not America cannot beat China economically, and neither can Australia.
No, they've just gone out of control now. I know exactly how they've done it. They've done it for cheap produce. And factories, like you're saying, produce items or whatever item, it doesn't matter what it is, but a lot cheaper and undercutting every other economy. And people are in the country that they're buying their produce from are buying it because they want, as you know, they just want to save money.
Right, exactly.
You know, they've got mortgages to pay and whatever else. And they just want to save money. So where else do you go to? The cheapest place. Cheapest item to get the place from there.
You do know where production's about to move towards India.
No, they're banning. I heard that India doesn't like they don't want China to come into their technology at the moment. That's what happened. That's what started the row with Australia and China. Is the next gen. Comms with the System 5 they want to come bring in, and they didn't want Huawei to come through. It's like in America, it's the same thing. They didn't like Huawei, and they banned them. And so there's a lot of shit happening with Huawei at the moment.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Huawei, all of the Chinese phone companies eventually they're going to make their phones, they're going to make their own operating systems. They're going to kick Google out of the way. And eventually Chinese materials are going to be just like Apple. But the thing about it that America doesn't seem to understand is that China dominate every single market segment. So they can sell cheap phones. They can sell middle price phones. They can sell expensive phones. They can do the same with tablets. America cannot compete with China. They just can't do it.
Yeah, so Google will really be taking over. That's damn.
Yeah, they can do it all right.
Well, no, Google will be pushed out of the way. That's because China doesn't give a fuck about Google.
They're not taking over bought out, but they'll produce their own Google. In other words, a cheaper Google, and people buy into that Google.
Damn.
It'd be named another Chinese name at Google. I don't know what it'd be called, but yeah, that's what he's getting at.
No, I hear you, but I'll tell you again, it's an uphill climb for these. America is the spearhead. Unfortunately, against China, they can forget it.
Shit. Well, we fucked.
No, it's not that you're fucked. You just have to adapt to what's coming. That's all.
So you think
it's gonna be hard to.
Well, you'll be able. You got to remember, Australia is its own country. It's an island, basically nation. It's got its own borders. So the thing about it is, it's like you'll adapt. It's just that you're better off working with the Chinese because their productivity allows you to live a level of luxury that your productivity never would have justified. So ultimately, it's like you need them.
Is there any cons?
Yeah, we don't want to.
What'd you say?
Sorry about that. I just talked over someone. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, is there any cons with the consumer or anything with that? Because,
Is there any cons with the consumer?
Well, no, just letting China overtake, the market and shit like that, like you were saying earlier.
Well, but you got to remember, it's not letting China over. You have to think of it in capitalist terms. The simple fact of the matter is, they are competing in a way that most other people cannot match, right? So it's no different. It's no different than a company like Apple growing as big as it grows. The bottom line is everybody else just has to figure out a different way to compete. Either that or they just have to work alongside them. There's no other way around it.
And you think the option one is going to happen?
Do I think people are going to learn how to compete?
Yeah.
I don't think you can compete with them.
Damn.
So basically, the future looks a lot like it looks right now. It's like we you think about it. You can go to the store, you can buy expensive, what used to be an expensive television, you're buying it on the cheap. We're spending thousands of dollars on electronics, thousands upon thousands of dollars on electronics every couple of months. You're buying appliances cheaper than ever before. You're buying all of your building material cheaper than ever before. It's like right now you just rely on them.
The supply and demand, and the cheapest you can get it for.
All right, makes sense. I mean, obviously.
I mean, again, I'm just going to say it. When you understand my premise, China's productivity allows us to live a level of luxury that our productivity does not justify. Once you understand that, it all makes sense.
I mean, you can already see that with, I might be wrong with this, but with trying to make shit, just in the U.S., it obviously costs more here than making it made in China. I mean, yeah, so, I already get it. It just sucks a little bit.
See, the problem with making stuff in America is that nobody is going to work if they can't earn enough money to live. So how are you going to pay an American enough money to live and to make whatever it is you want them to make? You can't.
Yeah, you can't, yeah.
In China, living costs are so low that a person can work and live comfortably, even if they're not living in what we'd consider comfort, but they're living in their level of comfort. They can work, they can earn money, they can save money over there because they're not being taxed as high, and they're getting ahead and they're enjoying it. And that's the thing. As long as they keep showing up to work, they're fine. They're not slaves.
I think they've got the highest population of billionaires in the world at the moment too, haven't they? Or they still have.
Absolutely. China has the largest number of millionaires because they're all getting rich selling us stuff.
Exactly.
So that's just what it is. You can't beat that.
No.
All of the equipment that all of us are using right now was made in China.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, it doesn't take rocket science.
The worst thing.
Yeah, I remember other countries. I don't know, like it was probably the same in America. Tried to get into your country, like for example, Korea, South Korea, Bangladesh is another company another country, I should say. That's pretty much we're buying stuff off. So India is another one, but I remember the Japanese when they came out with, items, for example, not so much cars, but clothing, watches, and stuff like that. Their quality, though, the Japanese quality is a lot superior than the Chinese quality. With the Chinese, they mass produce everything, but the quality is not there. But people want to buy it because it's cheap. It's as simple as that. They think they're getting their bang for their buck when they're not really, because you have to spend money to get it in quality anyway. So basically, they have to keep buying stuff because the stuff they're buying from Chinese companies is wearing out or is faulty. So they keep buying it, thinking that we're still saving money. In the long run, you're not. It's very smart. It's not very smart buying it. Well, no, I don't think, but it's smarter if you buy something that's more quality from other countries. But people don't think that way anymore. I don't know. In America, I think they still do, but I don't know how much the percentage is. I'd like to know that, but that's something.
Here's the thing. There's certain things that we're willing to spend a lot of money for. One of the things we're willing to spend a lot of money for is clothing. Another thing is cars. And another thing is housing, like certain things in our house or on our house. But when it comes to just about everything else, either we can't afford it or we're willing to go cheap.
Mm-hmm. It's just the way America works now.
And by the way, one of the things that I've done is I invested in all these companies that are making automobiles because there's some of them that are bringing electric vehicles to America. When those things get here and they're cheap enough, a lot of people are going to find themselves buying them simply because they can't afford to drive back and forth to work in a gasoline-powered car.
Mm-hmm. So do you think gas is ever going to have its...
Right now, my house is burning oil to keep me warm in the winter. It's going to be a very, very, very long time before oil or gas go anywhere. A very long time.
No, I said the prices.
The price of gas is going to maybe go up a little as the economy comes back, but I keep saying the same thing. Until airlines and cruise lines come back, you're not going to see the price of gas go up a lot. But once they come back, because you know what? I think the reason why they haven't really resurged is because we're still suppressing oil production to some extent. Because if you remember, right before coronavirus happened, Iran and Russia had a war with oil, and they were out producing each other, and that drove our gas prices down. Like it drove gas and it drove the cost of a barrel of oil down to nothing. You know, and during coronavirus, this happened right before coronavirus. There was like 400 million barrels of oil just sitting off the shores.
Yeah, did you hear about that off the coast of California?
Well, I know it was like that around New York, but I'm pretty sure it was like that in California too, and the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, California had 22 tankers just sitting off the port of LA/Long Beach. Long Island too. The New York Harbor area they had ships just sitting offshore for a while.
We've got a lot of
Yeah. And that was the thing.
Yeah,
that was driving
tankers.
Oil down. It was driving the cost of oil down.
There actually still is some backlog, but not as much.
Yes, Garrido.
It's horribly.
What?
It's lagging.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting ready to get up off here. I'm getting ready to get up off here because it's like really late. It's 12:23 right now. But I'm pretty sure I may come back and now that because every time I do this, I start working out more and more bugs and logistics of doing this. But I'll probably end up doing another one probably Monday after I see what happens with the Electoral College. But I'm getting ready to get up off here because it's like really late.
I got a question.
What's the question?
How is it over there in Australia with the lockdown?
With the what, sorry?
With lockdown.
How's it over here with the lockdown? No, we're coping the lockdown. No, we're coping really well because we shut everything down. Not like America where they let everything go. Like people are running around doing whatever they want, and then now you've got all those deaths a day. Still back up to the second wave, but no, we haven't got any of that. Now we're coronavirus almost free, but we haven't got the vaccine. We'll get the vaccine. We had our own trial on vaccine, but it failed. It produced the wrong results. Just put it that way. It showed tested for other things, and it showed a result for something that it shouldn't have showed a result for. So we had to drop our trials. But we'll be taking up the English vaccination next year, I believe. So it'll give us a bit more an idea on how it goes over in the UK. And I think America is looking at the same vaccine now, or they're trying to push that quickly.
Yeah, the FDA just approved Pfizer.
I've heard you guys got a lot of scary animals over there in Australia.
Yeah, we've got some drop bears.
Yep. You got them
kangaroos,
big bugs, kangaroos.
Oh, we've got all kinds of shit, mate. You name it, we've got it.
That's crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go there because of that.
No, not where I am. Not where I am. We don't have all of that stuff. It's only if you go up in the bushland, Australia. That's where you get it all from. Yeah. It's around the city. It's just like any other city. Like, it's clean. Our city's very clean. It's the capital of Australia. I'm in Canberra, and we don't have snakes running around or kangaroos or anything like that. You might get a kangaroo jumping down the middle of the street on the odd occasion, but it rarely happens.
But is it common to see a kangaroo outside a house in the neighborhood over there?
Yeah, it is. They're very common. Where I work, we had a population explosion of them, because what happens is they can get into like hundreds, literally hundreds in a paddock size area, and so because the animal people and animal rights and all that, they don't like culling them. They don't understand. They can't breed. They overpopulate because they breed and they eat everything, and it's more humane to kill them off so they can have an area so they can survive in, rather than having them all overpopulated. They don't understand that, but it does happen. It has to happen, and like I was saying, there is a fair few around. That's the eastern grey kangaroo where I am, and when you go north, you got the red kangaroo. It's a lot bigger than the eastern grey.
Is it illegal to have kangaroos as pets over there?
You can, but only if you've got a wildlife license where you can look after them and you can have enough room to look after them in your backyard. That's the only time. Same with any wildlife that's injured. We've got the wildlife people you call and they come and look after them, but they call them carers of wildlife. Basically.
I know you guys got Indigenous people over there too.
Yeah, they're the Australian Indigenous population. We recognise them. We recognise them as the first people of Australia. Now it used to be like that, but now it is it's a big thing at the moment.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay, guys.
I'm
sorry. You know what? You guys want to give any closing thoughts or whatnot? Because I'm about to wrap it up. So
no worries.
Yeah, so if you want to give me closing thoughts, just hit everybody up with a nice closing thought, and then I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna be out, and we're gonna go all to bed and everything, and I'll see you guys next time. So, what would you guys like to say to close out?
So when is the next one though?
Probably Monday.
Okay, I love this. This is so fun. I've always watched them, but I was too scared to join in, so it's my fault for being late, honestly.
Oh, okay, cool. How about you, Mick?
Yeah, no worries. It's great to listen to an American voice, and you probably sing the same in Aussie. You don't often hear an Aussie's voice. But I got on to listen to you, Big Truck, because you're SRT, and I'm a Jeep person, and I've had. We can take that conversation up later on Monday if I get on to it. But I'd like to talk more about the older Jeeps versus the newer Jeeps and the latest version that's coming out when we get a chance. But other than that, it's great to talk to you guys over there in the States. I think you're all over there in the States, but I'm not sure.
Have you ever been here?
Yeah, twice.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. Well, it was nice having you.
Yeah. Hey, McDonough.
That's good.
All right,
Is it true?
Oh,
is
sorry.
it true that you got Australians who have an American accent? Because I've heard a few.
Got a few Americans over here. We've got a US consulate. We've got all bases. We've got a US base. Yeah, we can buy all the. Normally we used to buy your. We got the F-18 Super Hornet and the Europe fighter, but we had one that first time for a long time that actually landed right, but the pilots had to eject because they had a massive engine shutdown on it, and they're still investigating that. But that's the first time it ever happened when Australian had their fighter pilot had to eject on Australian ground, which was I thought was a big thing at the time when I saw it on the news not long ago.
Oh wow! Jeez. And what team is it?
Have you decided if you're driving down to the inauguration yet?
What'd you say?
You decided if you're gonna go to the inauguration yet?
We'll see what happens. I don't know what the weather's gonna look like. I don't know what any of the situation around that's gonna look like. So we'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe I will. We'll see what happens.
Well, I would assume it would probably be cold. Or somewhat cold.
Oh, shit. Is that the police?
Well, all I gotta say is, guys, have a good night. Stay safe, and yeah, I don't know. And Mike, it's cool. So yeah, feel free to join again on Monday.
What's your name? What was your name?
It's
Slick Rick.
You know what?
Rick.
I thought that was. You know how you said Slick Rick?
Slick Rick Jones.
I've got a Slick Mick. I thought it was me.
Hey, Nate.
That's close, but yeah.
Yeah. I thought, is that
It's
me?
nice
Because
having
it's
Nate,
only
even
a
though
small
we
font.
disagree. We agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On what? What
All
are
right,
we disagreeing on?
All right. It was nice having you guys. I'm gonna let y'all guys go so y'all can do what y'all gonna do. You're gonna go to sleep. So Mick's day is just starting. My day's ended. So
I'm gonna say one more thing. John,
yes,
thank you for creating this YouTube to show people like Scotty, old ass, bitch ass Kilmer, and all these people who lie about Chrysler products. I'm sitting in a Chrysler 200, a quote unquote Fiat, with almost 200,000 miles, and I love it. Fuck Toyota, fuck Lexus. I will never buy one. I'm never not driving a Chrysler. Whoever watches this for the next 1,000 years, this is on here. I want you to know Toyota will go out of business if I'm ever the president. Fuck Toyota, fuck Lexus, fuck Honda.
All right.
That's all I want to say. Thank you, John, for telling the truth.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks, Nate.
All right, man. Right on.
Right on. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good
Right
night.
on.
And I'll see you guys later. Right on. Great way to end it. All right. All right, everybody.
I'm going to go out and play a few kangaroos.
Later. All right, everybody. Be safe.
I'm off for dinner, guys, too. Here, it's dinner time.
Dinner time. Okay, have a good dinner.
Yeah, going out for dinner to the local club.
All right. All right, yo, have a good time. Be safe.
I'll be back on here Monday.
All right, you too, guys. I'll be back on Monday if I can, too.
All right, see you Monday.
See you.
All right, cheers, guys. Nice to talk to you.
Later.
Fuck Toyota.